Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back for another night of painting and goofing off with the usual cast of characters. Speaking of unusual, uh, here's my bro Justin. How's it going? Meat stick, hot dog,
Good stuff.
branch. All right, cool. Okay, product placement.
Yeah.
Nice. Been a minute. You guys missed me on Wednesday. I take it.
I took it as an excuse to go back to sleep.
I can imagine that was a lot more fun, at
It
least
was,
a lot healthier.
especially since I haven't been really sleeping lately.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
I 60/40. Sometimes I get to, sometimes I don't. Um, Depends on how late I stay up and what time I got to get up. Uh, but because of the internet issues I was having, internet guys were here bright and squirrely, so I had to be up at like the usual time. So it's kind of good to get back into that because the boys been on spring break and sleep until 10 and stuff like that, and
hmm
that lets me sleep a little too late. And I'm glad to be back to more or less normal, except that we're not reviewing the book because everybody is not done with it, including me. I was on the phone most of yesterday when I should have been reading, even though I'm reading it like in an actual book, not audio. And the rest of you guys
No,
are.
I'm doing the same.
Oh, you're reading the book?
Yeah.
Digital
It-
though?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I
The
have,
ebook.
I have a stack of the Berserker books. I decided what I'm going to do, which I should have been doing, is put up a community post to see if we can't get other people to join us reading the same book, and that way, a lot more people will, at least read the book or at least tune in later and go, "Oh yeah, I should have read that book. Oh, I guess I won't because it sucked." So I'm going to do that later tonight and schedule. Next week we'll go over the first Berserker novel and discuss it. In the meantime, I'm looking at a bunch of minis that need to be painted and assembled. So what
Yeah.
did I do? I was, hey, what's happening, Hungar?
Hungar. Yeah, sorry I couldn't play Conan today, man. After I got done with my work, I went to sleep.
Okay.
But that was at like fucking 6:30. Uh,
Hungar, you know where the link
fucking
is. You want to
slammed
join
all
us?
day.
You're always welcome, dude. I know you don't
Yeah.
do a lot of painting, but uh,
Do you
you
ever
know,
see me paint on this show? Like
a
twice?
couple of times. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening off grid? Yeah, sorry I was away for a couple of days, but it
Yeah,
was
he just messaged me
sucked.
asking where the fuck you were.
It sucked ass because I'm addicted to the internet. Apparently, so is
Yeah,
Jackie. But it did let me draw the map, and then after having drawn the map, I hated it because it's like there's like 15 like continents, like large islands, and I'm like, yeah, I need to push some. And it's funny too because without even noticing it, I did the continental drift thing where you could see where they would fit in. Like a lot of places, it's like, oh my god, they fit perfectly if you just squished them all together. But I'm like, you know what? If everybody has to, attack each other through boats, it's going to seem a little forced. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Take the existing islands and then just kind of connect them.
Yeah, well, since I'm doing it on grid paper, and that was a pain because it wasn't perforated, so I had to exacto knife it out, and every edge was imperfect, and so I had to overlay things and
There are lines, there are lines you can follow on the grid paper.
yeah. But I had to do it just right, and so I had to overlay pages so they would do that using glue stick and then
You,
tape it when it was dry,
you don't
and
have a metal edge ruler.
I didn't think of that. And even
Yeah,
then, it would have been enough imperfections where I would have to overlay it to get it to line up. And it didn't help that how I drew those two graph paper maps.
yeah.
Well, one of them's one grid square longer, I think, than the other one. So even that doesn't line up right. And trying to do the math to convert squares to hexes, it worked, but there's just I need to mush some of the
Yeah, don't worry about the math for the map you showed us for the game.
pardon.
Yeah, the map you showed us for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about that map. Don't worry about that map.
Well, I wanted it to make sense, you know.
Oh no, I mean like in relation
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
Oh
for the D&D game, and
yeah.
I was thinking last night. It's like, oh shit, don't. You know what? With the cataclysm that happens, there's going to be land upheavals and sinking, and the ice caps melting will flood the rest. So that'll excuse any minor imperfections. But I wanted to make sure, like, the elves were where the elves would be, not like over here or over here. They're like kind of in the middle, and the
Yeah,
humans and everything's got to be in
some
certain
migration would have happened, but
right. But the hobbits aren't going to be over here and then end up over here after the flood. There's just no way. There's
yeah,
no time for
yeah.
that, and
A-
hobbits aren't real fond of
and if
boats.
there are any land masses that you need to get rid of, just say they're a byproduct of some spell or something.
Or well, there's another couple of events that are going to happen, so that
Raise Earth.
it'll make sense. Who just joined us? Crafting. Hey man, looks like you're feeling
Santa's
better.
Dracula
Yeah.
Uh,
and Shadow, by the way.
uh-huh. I was thinking about that off grid or something like that, because when it goes down, everything in our house runs on it. Not runs on it,
Oh
but
yeah, I
everybody's got a TV or a device, and it was just dead quiet for almost 2 days. And while I did get to do some drawing and listen to some music, it sucked not being able to get a hold of certain people. Uh,
I absolutely despise how much of the modern world requires internet.
Um, I normally I would. Hey, what's up, Janet? I saw your post today, and I thought the picture of the guy and the girl were like two YouTubers that Jackie watches, and I'm like, oh my god, what a coincidence! Because he was just watching, Matt Pat, the game theory couple that don't do videos anymore because they went. I thought it was them, but I guess it wasn't. But I always check out your posts and your like your community posts and stuff. I should watch your show more, but I'm in a game on Friday, so and you know where the link is, Janet. If you want to come in and say hi,
My
I need
pack
to.
got fucking rich and retired.
Well, I thought they had a kid, so there was that.
And he retired as well.
Well, yeah, with that kind of money, sure.
He
You
sold
know,
game theory.
yeah, I never really watched it per se. I would listen to it when Jackie was watching it, and they seemed to know what they were doing and entertaining, without being, controversial or anything like that. We also used to watch, or Jackie watched, and I would listen to another couple, Pat and Jen, and I guess they were like, you know, gold for a long time, and they got divorced. And I'm like, you're freaking shitting me, really? I didn't see that coming, and it
Who?
was that uh, Pat and Jen. They did a lot of Minecraft videos, and he would like use her kind of as a punching bag, do all kinds of horrible game stuff to her. Uh, well, maybe I'll check it out later, Janet. Now that I'm back online, and I just invited Raven in, and she's got to get on your show because you guys are going to hit it off, just like
Yeah, they've already met.
oh no, I know, but I mean on a show. Appreciate it, Janet.
No, they
Uh,
did meet on a show, and the internet
oh,
exploded.
oh, okay, okay, cool. Well, do it more often. She's going to be big when she finally gets her internet stuff together. Um, about the same time, Rick makes a video for makes an audio track for Connell. Um, has anybody seen Rick? From 28 millimeter RPG. I haven't seen him in like 5 6 months now. Right around the time Shauner, uh, left the gaming table, and I hope he's okay. I know he was having a lot of work issues, but his was one of my favorite channels, and I was hoping he would have watched some of our Traveler games and given me the old Shonner treatment
Hmm.
because uh, I wholeheartedly stand behind the "we're here to have fun" uh,
Yeah,
philosophy. Uh, I don't get anything, calling it anything else unless you're getting paid for it, in which case it becomes a job. And, kudos for having that kind of a job, but that will suck the life out of what was your happy place, your joy, your reason for being in the hobby. Now if
yeah.
someone wants to start throwing money at me, I won't let that happen. I swear to God. Um,
We are definitely putting modifiers and bonuses and advantages in the the super chats. 20 bucks for a life, or $100 if you want someone to have a high tier weapon,
yeah, hell,
or
I'll even
special
kill off
equipment.
characters for like 250. Just
Yeah,
kill them.
yeah, yeah. You want someone out of the game? It's 250 per person at the table.
And they'll get 50. I'll keep the other two.
No, no,
Uh,
no, no, no. It's 250 per person at the table.
oh no, no, no! You guys ain't getting shit. Uh,
Shut up.
and yeah,
You're already
off
getting
grid.
250. Let's have our 250 as well.
You want to get
That
your
that's
piece of that, huh?
$2.50.
Off grid. I was seriously thinking about doing something because uh, it was just it was annoying because I wasn't really in the mood to listen to music while I was working, which sounds weird because I'm a big music guy. But lately, it's like all my favorite stuff I've heard a million times, and uh, I did watch this video
You
right
should
before I
just
lost the.
shake it off. Shake it off.
I watched this video about this music composer who was listening to the Blue Oyster Cult song "Astronomy," the old version and the new version, and he was like playing bits of the music along, because it was like, oh, I know what that is. Like he instantly was able to play, parts of the song, and I knew he would dig it, but he didn't dig it as much as I'd hoped, and he didn't see the difference between the two versions, which are drastic changes. I almost, as a matter of fact, the first time I heard it, I'm like, I know this song, but I don't know this song because they had different singers and more electric guitar, less piano, and it was like higher pace, faster, culminating to the big, multi refrain of the chorus at the end that goes on forever.
So one version was on what album, and the other one was on.
A later album, yeah,
No, no. Well, it would have been on.
Imaginos,
Yes, Imagine Us.
and
I was trying to remember that name.
it's funny because
But what was the original album it was on?
it was called Secret Treaties,
Secret Trees.
1974, and then it
Yeah.
came back. They redid it in the 80s, and Metallica did it, and it's a cool song, and both have their charms. But I definitely, depending on the mood, I tend to favor the new version because it's more hardcore, rock and roll,
Yeah.
whereas the old one could have been a classical tune, taken like whiskey in the jar turned into a rock and roll song, which Metallica also did, which is another great song. But it was interesting to watch this guy. He knows his shit, and could see all the, and he did like a day's worth of research. He never listened to the band other than "Don't Fear the Reaper," and I'm like, so you've heard their worst song? I mean, it's not their worst song, but
Thank you, Stephen King.
well, yeah, and he did play the Stephen King intro for Astronomy. Right before I told you the story. I almost got a copy of a radio station edition, but I blew it. Uh, but it's funny because back in the day when I would listen to the song, my dad always thought that the ending line, it's astronomy, uh, They just keep repeating that word. And my dad thought it was pastrami.
Pastrami.
And it was kind of funny, you know.
Yeah. I can see that. You know, like you're missinging songs
Mm-hmm.
or whatever because the way they sound to your ear.
Mm-hmm. Especially if
Oh,
it's a word you don't use every day, but pastrami is a word we
I,
used every day because we had a place
that's
called Pup and Taco behind the house, and they made one of the it was hot dogs and burritos, but yet they had a pastrami sandwich on the
and
menu.
yeah, on the story about your dad calling the pastrami is no worse than me. For the longest time, I always during the opening of Flash Gordon, I always heard that as DOS, Dollhouse. I have no idea why, but that's what I always heard.
Uh, I had an ex girlfriend who thought the song "Beast of Burden" was Pizza Burner.
Pizza burner.
Yeah, she was kind of
For
ditzy.
shame. For
She's
shame.
kind of ditzy, but she was cool.
Burning your pizza.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
deserve to be smacked for that.
I almost burnt peanut butter cookies last night. That's how bored I was at one point. It's like, fuck, I'm gonna bake something.
You but burning pizza deserves to get you to walk this way, motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a song about a tranny. Or at least a crossdresser.
Yeah,
There've been so many songs like that. And it's funny that Steven Tyler wrote two of them or sang two of them. You know,
Uh, yeah.
never liked him.
He
I
does
liked a couple of
dress
his songs.
awfully effeminately.
Yeah. But he did, manage to
a lot of the more
create a.
eccentric rockers and heavy metal artists dressed effeminately. Look at Kiss.
I
They
was
wore
going to say
makeup
Led Zeppelin,
and bondage gear.
a Judas Priest. That's not effeminate at all. But
Yeah.
I was going to say, look at Led Zeppelin, one of the most popular bands of all time. And I swear to God, Robert Plant got his freaking outfits from his mother's closet. Those blouses he used to wear. I'm just like, seriously? You went
Yeah.
on? I mean, everybody was doing acid at the time, so nobody even noticed or probably felt good or whatever. Look at all the color.
Well,
But fuck that.
you also got to look at who was directing the design of things. And I could pivot right there.
You ready
I,
for the
I,
pivot this early, huh?
I could hard pivot on that topic. But
I'm certain of that. I'm certain of that. That's why
I
one of the
won't.
things I always admired about Blue Oyster Cult, they either dressed up, Buck would come on stage in a white tuxedo, or it was just jeans and t-shirts.
Yeah.
You know, uh,
It like they had to pivot right in the band and they didn't do that. But those that didn't have it in the band did what they were told. Oh,
but then again,
it's all fake. It's all
there's that
fake and
famous
engineered.
there's this famous picture of Eric Bloom from Blue Oyster Cult. They're all I forget where they are, and he's wearing a fucking cape, like doing this and shit. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my god! But it was 1972, 1974, so
yeah.
whatever.
How whatever? It's subversion of the culture and society.
Dude, we need to bring cloaks back. What are you talking about?
No, not the cloaks. The hair band girl makeup crap.
Oh yeah. I never understood that. I mean,
Well,
um,
it was literally subversion of the society to
mhm.
breed a generation of.
Yeah. Well, I'm painting up one of the fewer manlier things there is. Darth Vader's a space marine.
Nice. Speaking of painting up, I was going through my stuff and I came across one of a couple
Now
of these.
you remember that you paint him in blue, bright, regal, ultra blue.
Yeah, isn't that color
Uh,
called ultramarine?
yeah,
Yes.
I don't paint my miniatures ultra butt fuckers. Thank you.
No,
So
buttfuckers
I'm gonna blow myself
is
up
the
here
vampires.
because just
Red.
because I found
Oh
this.
no, there's a difference
Oops,
between being
Over
gay
this one.
and fuckers. The vampires are gay.
I thought they were blood angels and they wore red.
Yeah.
They do.
Okay. So
They're
I
also
found this
vampires.
1980s blister pack,
Ooh.
uh, a line I collect called Future Warriors, and it's
Yeah.
a assault walker. So I'm gonna put it together. Hopefully, it won't need any pinning, and if it does, I ain't doing it. But that's what I'm working on tonight, just in case anybody's like, "Hey,
Oh,
you're not painting." No, I'm assembling. And I
no,
should have said
well,
that in the. Oh, 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 oh,
I got a
oh! I'm
I got a
peeling back
really good.
this. What year is this?
Let's hear.
1980 something. I don't see a year on it. It's so
Yeah,
far back that they don't
before they
have
dated it,
years on it.
which means it'd be back when they first started making that kind of stuff because they didn't have dates on that back then.
But
Of
it's
course, back then, what year it was made wasn't important either.
yeah, because they didn't think it was going to be collectible or anything like
Uh-huh.
that. And now Crusader War Chance, I could do that every once in a while, but um, I'm trying to get as much mileage as I can out of the music from the old days while Jackie's here, so he'll hear it and have some appreciation for it. Um, because I've noticed some of the tunes that I really like are on his playlist, and back when I was a kid, that would never have happened. Just no chance in hell. And then after my old man passed
Oh,
away, I found myself listening to things like he listened to uh, John Denver, Neil Diamond, shit like that.
oh
Um,
yeah. I, I'm not. I'm not exaggerating when I say there isn't too many types of music I don't listen to. Like even certain songs of rap I will listen to, mostly the Slim
all right,
Shadys from Eminem, which is not about killing, not about raping. It's only about how kids, when at some point in their life, want to be famous.
yeah, the only version of that song I like is "I'm the Real Greg Brady." So,
that, yeah, there's been some really good parodies to that one.
Uh,
and since Greg Brady was the voice of Johnny Bravo, just saying he gets a pass.
Greg
I'm not a
Brady.
fan of rap. I really can't think of three rap songs that I do like
Who the fuck's Greg Brady? I know this name.
from the Brady Bunch.
Oh, he
The
was
guy
Johnny
who was
Bravo?
the guy who was dating his mom in real life, Florence Henderson. He was dating her because the guy who played the husband was gay, but went on to have an amazing career as a sci-fi bit actor. Every once in a while, oh, we need a guy with a beard and a Jew fro. Hey, let's get that guy. Um,
Greg Brady. Oh, yeah, okay. So his real name is not Greg Brady. That's his
no,
name from the show.
I forget what his real name is, but the actor who played Greg Brady also did the voice of
The Brady Bunch.
he did the voice of Johnny Bravo.
With the
And
Jew fro. Yeah.
well, they both have one. Greg had his all the time. The dad, cut his hair short so it didn't look like it. But later on, in like the '80s and the '90s, when he'd be on like Sequest or Babylon 5 or Star Trek or
The
Stargate
dad?
or what?
The dad?
Yeah, the dad. Yeah. And since he
Uh,
wasn't into women, and Florence Henderson was looking for a man, she hooked up with the actor who played her son,
yeah. Uh, Florence
which is cool
Henderson.
because nobody cared, and everybody said, keep your hands off of Marcia, she's mine, even though she was
Yeah.
a little messed up in the head herself. I mean,
People,
Yeah.
for some reason, gravitate
I
towards
would slam it
bitches
to
and
Marsha.
fucked up people.
what was that
Back
crafting?
back then.
I said, people. You ever notice if you like, oh, characters, female characters that people gravitate to for making little comics of and little love comics, they're always the broken, psychotic, or outright bitches. Yeah, they'll make some of the other ones, but the most are always those three characters. Why? It's like, are men literally masochistic?
Everyone
It
is,
works. It
bro.
works both ways. It's like this. Most women want the bad boy. Most, they just don't want to admit it.
Hmm.
And most dudes, before they settle down, You know,
Yeah, it's the assumption of ease, right? Uh, you think that the fun times are going to be quick to,
the town bike.
yeah. I was trying to
I'd
say
rather have a
that. I
mini.
was trying to say, I was trying to say the word "come" there without making it sound too much like "come."
You
I'd
mean
rather have a
cock
meaningful
holster?
relationship than a
Yeah.
one
Well,
night stand.
yes, we all would, bro. But you know, when you're 19 and the hormones are still raging, and I'm saying 19 or 18 for legal reasons.
Yeah,
When you're dumb and you're at the bar and she's saying yes, you would quickly ignore the warning signs, or you haven't learned to see them yet, or because you've succeeded at the vertical mambo. Uh, you start thinking those warning signs are good signs and not bad signs subconsciously
yeah.
until you learn your lesson the hard way.
Yeah, well, when I was that age, almost every single girl I knew considered me their brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you stay perpetually in the friend zone, and uh, you can't do that. Yeah. If Raven or Janet was here, they would uh, confirm or deny everything we've just said. Uh,
No, Janet is a bit naive. She's like, "Oh, women want this, women want that." No, you're lying, Janet. Sorry, but you're lying. If women wanted that, I would have been married before I turned 18.
Yeah. Well, I doubt that.
yeah, yeah, we're
No, she everything she claims women want, I did as a teenager,
Yes, but there are other things.
and that's not what they wanted.
nope,
Obviously.
not during those years. Later on, absolutely. Um, but at that time, everybody thinks they're they're immortal and they got plenty of time, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, you can throw a lot of your life
Oh
away.
God, that was one of the few things I regret most. As actually, you guys like, oh, teenagers are stupid. To a degree, you'd be amazed how nice it is to think you're freaking immortal. I learned at a very early age I wasn't, which turned me into a perpetual coward.
That's
Yeah,
not
I
good.
would I would never admit that again ever.
Yeah.
Just saying, bro. Gonna bring back
Oh,
TMI, man.
don't get me wrong. I'm not afraid to get in. Well,
TMI, bro.
no, I'm afraid
TMI.
to get into.
Just
I'm afraid to get into a fight nowadays because I'm old.
and
You're
gay.
old.
Even if I won the fight, I'd still be losing the fight afterwards.
Wait a minute, wait. Just for the audience's curiosity, you are how old?
33, 34,
Okay,
34.
being almost twice your age, almost. I can tell you that's not even remotely old. Um,
Yeah.
Wayne,
Wow.
Yeah, well, I'm still in the physical state where even if I were to win the fight, I'd lose it
no, I
ultimately
get
because
what you
I'd be
mean.
in so much pain.
Yeah, well, not just pain, but depending on where you live, there's legal repercussions and things like that that you just don't
That
want
too,
to.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
well, well, well. Now there's a California here, that might be a different story. But when I was a kid, it was very much just let them fight it out, even by the police.
yeah, that died a long fucking time ago. It needs to be brought back in dueling or a
Well,
town
well,
square boxing ring or
yeah,
something.
yeah. You got mutual combat. Most states actually have mutual combat laws.
Yeah, California isn't one of them. So
You should actually look that up because you might.
no, no, because I've almost been arrested multiple times.
Well, you gotta like it's gotta be clear that both of you are mutually agreed to fight, and that
Cops should just carry
You're on the
around.
same level of weaponry.
Cops
That
should
way, if
just.
you both got 45s, it's okay. Well, it's been used to like gangbangers off, right?
Yeah,
In several states, they were both doing the same thing,
cops should
so it's
just
not a
carry
problem.
around 2 sets of boxing gloves
No,
and
no,
call their
no.
buddies up. Hey, we got a live one here, and all the cop cars make a
Yeah,
circle, and you just
they
freaking
got their cameras. They can all film, put it on you
yeah.
fucking tube.
But no,
No, no, no. They get their own live fights.
like bum
Uh,
fights.
yeah, live fights. Cop broadcasting. They get their own
Get
servers. They can
get
have
their own
their own super
announcer.
chats that they can take their 30% cut on. It'll help. It'll help with the revenuing problem, right? They won't have to. They won't have to revenue so much with the speed traps and crap. They did that.
Hey, Shadow.
Oh, if you think they'd stop that
Oh
gold
yeah, yeah,
mine,
but it would be less of a gold mine.
Uh,
Uh,
I've Shadow. I've discovered a how much
nice
swamp
off grid.
stuff do you do?
Excuse me.
How much swamp making do you do? Like swamp for dioramas or bases?
It's one of the harder things to do, to
Really?
make it really look real.
I'll send you
Not
some
not
pictures.
not the water sheen, but the actual foliage.
yeah,
Oh
It
well.
always looks like store bought stuff or
Oh yeah.
stuff you found in the backyard.
Well, first
yeah,
off, you want to, depending on what it is, you want to paint it.
yeah.
Oh, that's much better. But I discovered a recipe for the bottom of a swamp lake.
Oh yeah.
Some dry coffee grounds,
Okay.
uh, cornstarch, and tea. Old tea leaves. Like it doesn't matter. The tea could be. Actually, I think the more variety of tea you have is better. And you put it on the bottom. It literally just looks like your average swamp bottom, just in miniature.
Mm.
Cool.
And if you take let's see, a Guerrilla Clear Brew and just cornstarch, it makes a very convincing sandbar.
Sandbar, yeah. But you had those bristles in yours.
Yeah, those just came off of an old paintbrush.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They need to be varied and
Shorter.
shorter,
Yeah, I
and
saw that and I'm like, those are a little too tall.
and they look too uniform.
Oh, too
Like
uniform, I'll agree. As for too tall, uh, there's stuff around here that grows taller than me in swampy areas.
yeah, it doesn't matter the realism. It looks fake to the eye.
Okay.
Um,
Well, if I
like
cut them off,
and
they won't have the nice little tips. So
yeah,
that'll
you
have
get a
to
cut
something I
from the
keep in mind for
bottom.
next time. Yeah.
Yeah. You also want to like vary the height of them, so
Yeah.
like put them in individually, so they're not all exactly. Um,
Uniform.
that's one of the yeah, and also the height of them as bunches. So like this bunch might be a little taller than that bunch as well as individually uh, in variation by maybe half a millimeter
Yeah.
in the cluster. Um, Also, everything could be hit with like a sepia wash, bring the color down.
And by everything, he means literally everything you've ever painted.
Yes,
I think I got
yes.
sepia. I'll have to double check the washes.
Well, you can always
I
make it just thin it
Yeah, that is
down,
true.
and
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to get myself for my birthday is all new washes because I'm just about out, and I
Yeah.
really want those new Army Painter washes. To
Oh,
just
I absolutely love them. I bought a set.
Yeah,
Problem
but they
is,
don't, it doesn't come with it only comes with the same stuff that the old set came with, and there's new colors like orange that I've been dying for an orange wash for years.
oh, get a Twitter account, message them. I created
And
this Twitter account to ask you to make me an orange wash. Damn you!
oh no,
Bye.
they do now make an orange wash, but it's not in any of the sets except the biggest set that you know, includes literally everything, and it's $800. I don't
Yeah.
have that kind of money to add another 200 bottles of paint on my table that's already got
You
400
should be
bottles.
able to buy that one color individually.
Yeah, you can get it from like Gnomish Bazaar or Miniature Market if it's
Uh,
in stock.
Amazon.
Oh, another,
If
if
I
you
don't
like,
mind paying like 4 times the price on Amazon, yeah, no.
Yeah.
but there's also another one that's like I use if I'm doing just a base, so I don't have to pull out special swamp material. Oozing vomit all by itself in a couple of layers makes a very convincing layer of swamp water on a flat surface.
Mm,
Okay, interesting name, but you know,
Well, it's
what's
an
it
effect
called?
paint from Army Painter. Almost said Warhammer.
Oh, you know the sword for from Conan, the Arnold one.
yeah.
It sold the other day for $176,400.
That's it. I figured that'd be
Yeah,
worth more.
no, that's pretty high for a prop.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
look at Dorothy's slippers.
176K.
Dorothy's slippers that were beat to shit. Because everybody who ever owned them wore them, regardless of gender. Um, went for like over $1 million. So
Yeah, but like there's an iconic level between Wizard of Oz and
when
Conan.
it comes to the memorabilia that a guy should want, the Conan sword is up there. There's
Yeah.
very few things. I mean,
Well, we tend to
even
go
like
more the sci-fi props than the fantasy ones.
yeah, I mean like you okay Excalibur. Look up what
Yeah.
that went for. If it didn't
I
get
think
freaking,
less. I think maybe half that.
and it should go for more.
But the Star Wars
Minutes plus
props tend
five.
to what?
Excalibur's plus five.
Yeah.
Come on,
It's
that
only
one's
made out
smart.
of resin too. The sword I just saw was like it wasn't even a metal sword.
For Conan.
Yeah, it was a
That does
resin
not
sword.
surprise me at all.
Yeah, I think the Excalibur was it was a piece of sheet steel.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
Would you accept anything less? I mean,
well, depending on the scene, you actually want a much lighter weapon. No, mind you,
yeah,
as I have done my research, I know most actors will tell you a piece of actual heavy equipment feels real and really adds to the weight of the character. But there are some scenes you want something light to be swinging around.
yeah,
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 because you're going to do it like more times than an actual crusader.
Yeah.
Take, cut. You know,
yeah.
you're not going to get it right on the first try.
And you would have had to have done that a lot with Arnold.
Yeah,
He's slow.
and it's not a barbell. I fucking hate that guy.
Oh yeah, his movies were fun though.
Yeah, yeah. There were some that were really good. I really liked him in Red Heat and
Red Heat,
I loved Running
Twins.
Man.
Twins. I actually
Um,
hate fucking Running Man. I think that's the worst Batchman book. Uh,
Well, I also have to, I also look at it through a
they
set of
need to make
nostalgia.
Long Walk.
I grew up with that book, with that movie.
Yeah, that they really need to make the Long Walk. That would be a good piece of prestige television, like a 15-part miniseries or whatever it was, a series.
Oh yeah, it's like
Do you know the Long Walk? Do either of you know?
was it in his book of short stories? I forget what it's
No,
called.
it was one of the ones he wrote under the pen name Batchman,
Bachman.
Bachman,
Yeah,
Bachman.
my mom had like all of them, but I don't think I saw it
Okay, uh,
in her collection.
so the Long Walk is kind of like you know the premise of the Hunger Games.
Mhm.
Okay, but instead of a battle royale, they're required to walk from the border of Canada to like Mexico. Maybe it's over to California. I can't remember if it's across or just down the coast. Um, so they're all like like high school graduates or just entering high school or whatever, like the kids,
Uh-huh.
and they're all required. Every child in the U.S. is required to be on this march. Are a good percentage of them, and whoever survives gets a wish, but most people die on the walk.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stupid. It's like a population control thing or some like it's like an apocalypse America story, but that's like in the background, and it's all about these kids in this walk. And they're being like typical teenagers because he was still close to being a high school teacher at the time. Like he still remembered that, so he just wrote the kids that like the shit they would do. So
Hmm.
like whenever you see the like s- he was good at writing fucking shit teenagers were doing in the 80s and late 70s because he was a high school teacher and would overhear the shit they were doing.
Okay.
Uh, and then he just ramp it up to 11, right? Because it's a novel. You got to ramp it up to 11.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, well, so the whole book follows these kids dying of freaking heat stroke and exhaustion, and they have to keep their heartbeat at a certain pace. Or a guy will just come up behind them and shoot them.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound realistic.
Well, it isn't. It's an absurdism.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll agree
right.
with that.
But yeah. Oh.
You know,
Oh.
when they make real walkers like the one I'm assembling right here,
They never will.
they
Materials.
sure as shit better not make them two legged and chicken style. I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
sick of
They'll
chicken
have
walkers.
to. They'll have to. I think that's the only method that will actually work.
Yeah, I know. They're just so dorky looking.
Yep. Fucking hate the chicken walker.
If I would have known, I mean, I kind of knew, but it's like, it'll be
And
fun because I
and
because it's 25 millimeter scale. It really just becomes a really big, nasty robot for all the rest of my miniatures because no dude can fit in it,
Yeah.
except maybe a hobbit.
well, well, as technology is going right now, if we see anything like that, it'll be a suit of power armor before a suit of walking armor.
What's up, Omen? You know where the link is. You want to pop in and hang out?
Yeah.
But with that said, power armor is also like one of the things I have watched about it. Power armor is very risky because it's kind of like it's kind of like a space suit, especially if you're in the desert. As soon as it's punctured, you got a big problem.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I've seen uh, like Adam Savage and a few other people have made those like as close to realistic Iron Man suits
Yeah.
that almost do half the things that his did. I think we'll see them. I think we'll see them on the battlefield. We won't see walkers. That's just stupid. You know.
Actually, the walkers aren't as stupid as you would think. Uh, the main premise of walkers in real life comes from elevated battlefield as tactics.
Right, but they're too tall and they become everybody's target.
Mm.
You gotta treat them like artillery pieces.
Yeah, they would that the same exact thing was said about the tank Shadow.
This is true.
Most tanks aren't really that tall though.
No, but they're
Mm.
saying they made too big a target. And they would be useless in battle.
Mhm.
That was said for a very long time about tanks.
Yeah, but was General Milley one of the guys doing the talking?
Mm.
He's been around long enough to have been one of those guys.
You would know.
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy other than he's a deplorable piece of human refuse. Um,
Oh, come on. You and I both know that you guys get together, handle Highlander style, and duel it out every once in a while.
Yeah, but unlike the Highlanders, they don't use swords; they use swords.
Uh, yeah, no, that's just that doesn't
The,
settle anything
the,
except who's gayer than the other.
I never said you did it for settling anything.
Well, I thought that's
This
what
is
you
you
guys
we're
were
talking about.
implying.
The point is to be gay.
No, that's not the point. Yeah, I remember even some of the early exoskeletons there.
Whoever goes limp first after releasing their energy loses.
Hey, Owen, what's happening?
And sorry, you're talking about walkers, and like, no, they aren't going to go anywhere. They're too slow. They're too tall. That's one of the big things with modern combat is they're trying to get a low
They're too
silhouette
small.
profile.
They're too big. They're too slow. They make too big a target. I can repeat everything you say just about
Yeah,
tanks.
World War One, you can. Post World War One, that wasn't true. So
Well,
you're trying, and the
You
other
don't
part
know.
is no. I mean, I've my father's been an artillery officer and has been a tank officer and a helicopter officer. No, what you're saying is applies to World War One only. Um,
Well,
and you're right; they went 5 miles per hour. Once they started going up to 20 miles per hour, then they started replacing cavalry. And then
um,
at that point, there, if you actually look, because I've been to the museum at Fort Knox, Kentucky, the tanks of World War One are larger in dimensions, not in weight, than your modern battle tank.
And aren't some tanks now capable of like 80 miles an hour?
Yeah, yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard.
and we can bring the same logic easily into walkers. Eventually, walkers aren't going to just walk.
Um,
We have already proven more than once that we can make robotics that can run.
well, yes, we can,
yeah.
and you're still limited. You still don't. You're still not going to get the same speeds.
Yeah,
The
and
the
you
the,
kind of
the
said the key
problem.
word there, crafting robotics. Why even put a guy in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Uh. Meat override, but the problem is, they would be useful in the long term in undeveloped areas where you know you're not going to, like, you can only bring so much volume of material with you, and you need to have like a pressurized environment. So like if we start fighting on the moon or some shit like that, walkers make sense.
So here's what it comes down to. A lot of times is you're looking at efficiency. So then you're looking at range. So then you're saying, okay, what are we going to cut? That's why you'll see a lot of them go with these dune buggies and stuff because they cut as much weight as they can to get speed. Why do you use
But I
why
mean
do you
that
use
in the sense of
tracks? See,
like
tracks are slower than wheels. Why do we use tracks? The big advantage of having a walker is you can use it
all
um,
terrain.
in certain types of terrain. So it would probably be only effective if you're going to be in a city environment. But then it can't be these big things. It has to be like the exoskeletons that we've
Well,
talked about.
I think it's kind of stupid to make them more than 2 stories tall.
Well, they shouldn't even be
Like,
up to 1 story tall.
yeah, that's
Most
what I'm
tanks
saying.
are
Like
less than
any
every 20
more
feet.
than right. Like
No,
that's the
Yeah.
upper limit.
well, even I'll admit that if they're going to be tall at that point, you kind of need an anime ninja robot because otherwise they're too big and lumbering to be of any use.
We don't live in anime world. That's
Well,
Yeah.
just
I'm
what
just
most people
saying.
think.
Well, here's the other part. You're still too tall. Your goal is to make a small target, and that's what it comes down to. And it's just like when you say, well, they can do this. Well, we have helicopters, we have planes. They
Well,
have they serve different roles.
when you're
Part of it
when
just comes
you're
down to
when you're moving mass, if you have the ability to have a large, like powerful, well armored weapon system, the exact opposite of a glass cannon, even though it's a little bulkier, with one person in it, and you're moving the food supplies for one person instead of like an infantry company and all the food supplies that require, you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, I
Like
mean,
that
there's a
that's
couple.
your transverse in the
Well,
effectiveness of
we
The
also have to consider how we use tanks nowadays. We rarely use tanks against people who we know for a fact have the ability to blow them up easily.
oh
here,
Oh
sure
yeah,
we do.
no, we use tanks just as very similar. That's what they were designed for. Um, the problem really comes down to is how useful are they? And again, I've talked to guys in Fallujah, when they use the tanks. A lot of it is they're still pretty big and cumbersome, even for a tank, because a tank's still about 30 feet long. They're just not that tall. I think most of them are like under 9 feet. That was one of the things they complained about with the Bradley. But really, this is what it really comes down to. Everyone wants to talk about the weapon system, stuff like this. Anyone in military will tell you logistics is where you win wars, not in what's the best weapon system. And then when you start getting logistics, and to be fair, we had walkers in the 1960s for the U.S. government. The U.S. government actually created a walker that was manually controlled. The problem is it wore out the operator within like an hour, and so then they canceled it. It's if you're really going to do it, it's like
that's the lack of computer controlled assistance and all that crap.
That's true. And what are you going to be using it for? And it might work for, I'm going to bring this up because it's a different style. We're not talking military. Why do police still use horses? Because horses are still very intimidating, and that's where I think the walkers.
And they are very dynamic in tight crowds.
Yes,
like they can move around people without hurting them, and they can hurt people intentionally.
Oh yeah,
where
you don't fuck with a horse.
The mechanical equivalent just does not work.
And there's the psychological aspect too. A man on a horse can see much further. One is the funny thing is crowds don't react negatively to horses. If you see a horse, a lot of people do want to pet it. It's only whenever they come over, but this is why they're used in crowd control and stuff like that. That's where I can see if you can do a robot, because at that point, that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for something from a military perspective. You're looking for something as a pacifying. And it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. The trick is to make them cute and cuddly. If we can make robots who are cute and cuddly like a horse until the horse needs to act in other ways, people will be like all over it. So, well, just like
Japan's already working on that, so
yeah.
Well, have you seen the ones that they've done? Well, here's the other thing too: is if we're going to talk in modern combat, is if you've seen the new FPV drones that they're using, where they've got the fiber optic link, they only go to a certain distance, so you still need a human being somewhere to control stuff or to give guidance. Now, once you talk AI, that's all. A true AI, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, but we don't have true AI. We have large language models, which are like. This is why I know people they watch these fucking movies from the 80s and they think like it's Skynet coming to kill us, when these things don't even have conceptual awareness, right? For something to be intelligence, it has to be able to think for itself, not just take what you've already given it and shove it through a sieve and attach algorithms to it.
Those stories of the computers going, oh, don't tell him like this, don't do this, don't do that. That's a fucking algorithm that somebody can put in at best. I think it's just a bunch of hoo-ha stories personally.
So here's the interesting thing I found out is, because you're doing language learning models, it depends on what you're training them for, and they're training it on like Reddit and on the internet. And what's interesting is it causes intentional blind spots. So I was listening to a podcast, which was really interesting, where they said that if the language learning model admits that it likes Elon Musk, because there's so many negative things on the internet, it breaks every part of the model. It breaks all of it because you have destroyed its logic, which is funny. Because
you can guide it to that. You can guide its conversational perceptions.
I'm telling you, for the language learning models, they found out that it breaks because it's what they're training it on. You're right, but you have to train it on. And the problem is they're not training things on the old. What they need to do is they need to train stuff on philosophy, probably prior to 1900.
They don't just train this stuff on. And it wouldn't matter because it would only regurgitate that. It wouldn't understand it.
Here's the problem I'm telling you, is the way that it's doing for their language learning models, is the way that they've trained it, is it breaks if it's going through certain things because it's being trained on the modern internet. Well, who are the people that are putting the majority
but you're not
of information
understanding. Listen to what I'm saying. It doesn't understand. It has no actual understanding of what it's telling you. It's regurgitating. It's like
it's
a person.
Not fully regurgitated, is what I'm telling you.
No, it does. It's just given safety nets to not be negative. So if you don't
No.
tell it to be negative, even though it's being fed on hate of something, it will not hate it because it runs
I'm telling
across
you,
like a barrier of be positive.
it's not working like that, is what I'm telling you. The problem is what it's being trained on currently. And again, it all depends what you're training on, is it's taking all of the information. And the problem that it comes down to is if you're
Yeah.
training against what the majority of the singularity
then it
values.
goes up against its protocols that says, okay, you have a bunch of Twitter stuff that says I hate Elon Musk, which not everything on Twitter does that. You're only seeing the last few years, and it's got much more than that. But even if everything did say I hate Elon Musk, it then hits that protocol of saying don't be mean, and switches that to nice.
What I'm telling you is it breaks the language learning models a lot of times. And
I
as such,
heard that, but that you're not hearing what I'm saying.
I
If
am hearing
you
what you're
have a
saying. I'm saying
negative
it doesn't work like
statement,
you say it does. Is what I'm telling you. It's not working like you say it does. It's working towards a singularity value of, and that because of that, when you break
oh,
one, it breaks the entire system. Unless, like you said, is unless you put something where it has to pre-program stuff, which at that point you're not getting your language learning model. You're actually
and those
just
answers
overriding it.
come from the pre-programming.
Yeah,
It
right.
doesn't come from its own self-intuitive action because it doesn't have self-intuitive actions. It's incapable of it. There isn't cognitive issues going on there. It's literally just something being like an analogy you could use is if you built a really nice sandcastle, Omanow, out of sand right here in front of me, and I transferred that sandcastle to a sieve and sieved it out, I would still have the sand, but not the castle. Right? I'd have all the building blocks of the information that made up the castle, but the castle would not exist anymore. And that's how large language models work. You have all the building blocks, but not the content or understanding that comes with it.
My question is, which you guys could be both right, depending on which models you're talking about,
No,
right?
all models. That's how the fundamental technology works. From whether it's an image generator or writing or anything else. I don't care what YouTube video you watched, man. This is how the technology works.
I'm telling you, you don't understand how the technology is working and it's breaking right now. Because I would agree with you probably about a month ago, and me looking at things, it's changed my perspective on that.
Oh, these two, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
How do you know?
Because I've seen these two. They fucking watch a couple of YouTube videos, then regurgitate it
No,
on
he's been going down
everything.
into this a lot of the studies and stuff. You might want to understand that, especially when they've been talking about it for like almost a decade. I understand what you're trying to say. I'm saying that the language learning models are working differently than what people are saying, and they're not working like they should because of this. And it's because they're being trained on the wrong things. The problem is that you have to figure out where you're going to train it on, which I think is some of what we're talking about anyway. But they're not being trained on the historic philosophy. And because of that, it's instead going whatever the people are on the internet that's taking. And so it's trying to work it that way.
But you're assigning moral value to the information when the machine doesn't understand the concept of moral to begin with, because it has no concept of understanding.
Okay, we're not talking of, yeah, we're talking about what it's doing is it's going through its language learning model and it's assigning values. And because of its values, it breaks if
Yes,
certain things occur.
but it's assigned values are whether or not you put the word "the" in front of fucking cat. That's the value it assigns.
No, it isn't. The value is being very, no, you don't understand
Do
on
you
how
want me
it's
to send
working
you a
out.
training course on how to make one of these things? Because they're available out there. You can make one yourself and develop
Right.
an understanding on how to do it.
Right. but it depends on what you're trying to train it on. And if you start training these large models on certain
Which are
things, if you
trained
aren't
on
careful,
all of the classical information because it's free to train it on.
that's not the
All of them
majority of information
have
that's out
all the
there.
classical information on it.
And I'm saying
all
that's
of
not
them
what it's
have
being
them.
trained on.
All of them have Plato on it. All of them.
That's not what it's
There's
being
not a
trained
large
on.
language model that does not have Kant on it. Full
Okay,
stop.
Justin, Plato
Relax,
is
guys.
one person. It's not. It's vastly outweighed by everything else
There-
that it's also pulling in. If you start creating everything as equal weights, then it starts creating a whole different aspect to it. And the problem is in who is putting stuff on the internet. That's what we're talking about, where it's being trained on.
Yes, but the reason why they're shoving, like, 'cause for the last year and a half or so, most AIs have not been trained off of Reddit or TikTok as adding information. They've been trained off of content generated on platform because what they're trying to do now is make more accurate and dynamic responses based on what users actually want.
And
Right?
I'm saying
That's
is
why all the posts ask you, is this accurate to what you're asking for? Rate the quality of this response. Every single one of them has that as a byline.
And I'm saying that the people who put the most stuff on the internet tend to be the least stable people. And it's learning from some of those.
So I'm painting up Darth Vader as a space marine.
Darth Vader was much more moral than the Space Marines until the last 20 years. Did anyone not read the original Rogue Trader from the Warhammer 40K?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's when they started making these little goody two shoes, I got kind of tired of it. I missed the old penal legions where you would go into a penal legion because you forgot to return your book
What's up,
in the
Mac?
proper time.
Meanwhile, I'm using a square rectangle. I hope this is metal. A metal bit from another metal miniature. I'm going to pin this machine gun uh, by putting a square peg in a round hole because I don't have any metal like round like brass or something like that. I've just got scraps of old. You know how at
Let's see.
like on your minis,
Where is
sometimes
it?
there'll be like the tab that they go into the
Yeah.
base, the slot base. Well,
You
there's
don't have
that
any
little.
paper clips?
Apparently not.
Let's see.
And I
Here.
want something a little thicker. It's easily like
Might I recommend Lincoln Electric 8mm mild steel welding wire?
I used to use the
yeah,
old
that's
brass
pretty
wire.
specific, dude. Thank you.
I bought some thinking it was copper wire. Come to find out it was
Here,
steel welding wire.
here,
You actually need a pair of actual wire cutters to work with this stuff, but it is stiff and actually
I'm going to use
pretty
this little
bendable despite how stiff it is.
rectangular bar because
It's also
the hole is about a millimeter.
Have you tried a paper clip?
Yeah, I don't have any paper clips. You'd think that I would, but no.
Really? See, there's the problem. If you just use paper clips, you'd be set.
You have to rewind it, Mac.
We were
I'll
talking
never do
about
paper
AI
clips.
and walkers and, modern
Yeah,
military doctrine.
I do use a lot. I use fender washers to put under the base or in the base because I like the beveled edges of most modern mini bases.
Hey, Shadow, tell your son to go grab some, office supplies or whatever from the school. Bring them
Yeah,
home.
he's never in the office because he's a good boy.
No. They have the office supplies in every classroom, Shadow.
Yes.
Did you not go to school?
I mean, all you have
Did
to do is
they,
ask.
did they invent it yet when you were a kid?
Yeah, I did go to school, but there was no getting near the teacher's desk without an apple or something.
You just go to the secretary. The secretary usually has stuff like that. Hey, can I have a few
Yeah,
paper
I
clips?
know.
No, there's usually a cabinet. Every classroom I was in, there was a cabinet. I don't know. Maybe American schools don't have supplies or something.
I'm just
Uh,
worried that this is a piece of plastic and not actual metal.
no, you can use plastic. Plastic. It's just bridging the gap to prevent
Yeah.
sharding.
So
You can use plastic rod just as well as paperclip.
American schools have supplies, but they don't trust the students to not steal them out of the classroom. So very rarely errors are this.
Skynet's all I'm saying.
That's the
it's not well. I mean, to be fair on this, I never had any real problems. The teachers, of course, I went back in the day when we used to be able to bring knives into school and no one blinked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I miss the 2000s.
This was, I mean, they used to ask me for the teachers because I used to always bring my Swiss Army knife. Hey, can I borrow that? Now everyone's freaking out over the fact they're Swiss Army knives. And like, my mechanical pencils
mine
were
was just
far
a
more
pocket
deadly.
knife. I'd pull it out in class and start whittling.
Hey, Mac, which Traveler game are you talking about? The one
He's
at
talking to Gary Kahn.
that's what I figured. Could be mine.
Yeah, but no, the Gary Kahn. I mean, apparently Mac got to go out there. He seemed really happy with the.
Yeah,
Gary
I saw
Kahn.
that nice little haul he brought home too.
Where do you put
I'm
that?
trying to get a couple of books from Squirrel, but apparently everybody beat me to most of the stuff that I was looking for, except the one thing I really do appreciate because I didn't have the opportunity to get it because when I heard about it, it was gone, and that being the Dying Earth RPG.
Oh, I think there's a couple of them out there. I know that DCC has their version. The other thing you can do, Shadows, did you see what the new Dungeons and Lasers are for the ship? I know that you were big into that, so I posted that into whatever the crafting and gaming channel you have.
Yeah, I was actually now that I can do such things, I'm going when that Kickstarter launches in a couple of days. Now I'm going to do a couple of episodes because I can share my screen now. I don't know if you guys remember how we used to do that. If you guys remember how we used to do our Dungeons and Lasers videos, we would stand in front of our TV. It's not a really big TV, but we would stand in front of the TV. And Jackie's mom would film us standing in front of the TV, and someone would be scrolling down with the controller for the TV so that we could. It was so cheesy because it would take
There's
all
a certain
three of us.
charm about that.
It would take all three of us to make a video about the Dungeons and Lasers Kickstarter, and I swear to God, we have done more work for those fuckers, and they pretty much like once they got famous, they totally forgot about us because we don't have tens of thousands of subscribers, but we're still going to do our part. We may not reach a lot of people, and be professional, but when we get the stuff, we'll actually do stuff with the stuff. We won't just do a commercial and then throw it in a warehouse. We'll paint it up. We'll try to use it when Jackie's friends come over, stuff like that. We won't just you know give it away or whatever because Archon Studios will send these big guys, literally thousands of dollars worth of their merchandise, and it's totally wasted on them. They could just send like half the stuff because they won't ever, the channels that do cover it, they won't do it justice. They'll show it, they'll say it's great, blah blah
Well,
blah.
that's all I need from them, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's knowing what I know now, it's incredibly.
They need to send to Squidmore Miniatures so they can do their big painting for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I
here's
do
the thing.
Squidmar,
sorry.
Squidmar.
Squidmar sucks. Fuck him. But go ahead.
Squidmar has already made a deal with Archon Studios. They are making miniatures with them.
Okay.
Sure. Because he's been at it longer and
he made it clear out of everybody for both price tag and quality, Archon Studios was the best.
Yeah, and I was one of the first, but that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
I was there when nobody knew who they were. our first
Well,
video that
it's
made our
production
channel.
value, bro. You haven't
Yeah.
learned how to use a camera or even got one.
Yeah, I got to
Or
get
video
an.
editing.
I've
Yeah,
been.
well,
Our
yeah.
our framing, our how to paint well,
Yeah, it's like I've been planning on making
Or
painting videos,
audio.
and I discovered I can't.
our headphones.
Yeah, audio is a big one. I
Hey,
can't
they
make any
like
good painting.
hold
Sorry.
your horses, guys. They liked us and our stuff enough that they had us make a commercial for them
You
when
would
nobody
do it for
else.
free.
No, no. Well, we would do everything for free for them. They're the reason the channel exists because, well, not 100%, but they were our first video, our first videos. We've literally made more videos than any dozen channels combined on their stuff. You know, how to paint it, how to assemble it, the best techniques for storing it, and all the stuff we did. And they liked our stuff so much that they made our Christmas video their commercial in their first year. But then they forgot who we were.
Well, you just haven't grown. That's your problem.
Well, yeah, there's reasons for that too. Um,
Yeah,
Like
Oh,
if you leaned into the homosexuality that I accuse you of so much, YouTube would like you
yeah,
more.
I hear Europe's big on that, but we're not. Um,
they just dress gay.
not to mention one day,
I just trust kid. That's a good one, Domino.
and not to
It's
mention one
true.
day on stream, you would eventually see Jackie walk up behind Shadow. Everything would go blank, and then you'd never see Shadow again.
what are you talking about? I just come back as a new guy somewhere else.
He would be Steve now.
No, it will never be Steve. I don't know what your fascination is with this guy Steve. Let him go. Let him go.
Is you.
Just didn't like you that way.
It was the $6 million man.
I
That's who Steve was.
I played a lot of Minecraft. I always look for that bastard. Yeah, it was Steve.
But
Right?
I still love Archon, and they still know who we are. If I go in, as a matter of fact, when the game Star Side comes out, which I cannot wait, I've been waiting for that for as long as the channel's been around. I forget the guy's name, the guy who owns the company. He's got a weird name that I can't really pronounce. I'm like the guy. I'm the reason why he didn't give up on that project because every fucking question and answer video, I would come in. What about Starside? Because it was based. They had this miniature line or game or something called Empire of Man or Men. I forget which it was, and they had to this day some of the most amazing sculpts I've ever seen. Totally unique looking stuff, unlike everybody else's big shoulder pads uh, kind of stuff. And I missed out on it, and I don't really regret it because they were resin, and I guarantee most of those miniatures don't even exist anymore because this was back when resin was would melt in your hands practically.
That was only certain kinds of resins by certain companies, not.
But that was the way it was back then. It was
Yeah.
flimsy. It looked great, and I bet a lot of it warped on the way to and from.
You could fix that, and as long as you didn't put it in a window, it was fine afterward.
So I
But
did find out that Monster Apocalypse, the Kickstarter that failed, and I spent way too much money on. They got the list of all the people that backed it, and whatever you backed, they're going to give you the STL files for it. I
Scuba
was like, well, that's
Steve.
kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like,
I
oh,
love
you can give me the STL files? I said, I need to get over with Brian. And like, Brian, I need you to print me a couple of factions.
Only
I love that
$8,000.
Hey, it's cheaper than what Squidmar freaking wanted to charge me to paint one single fucking Space Marine. Actually, two of them to look like Donald Trump. Because had he done so, had he painted them up, I could guarantee they would have ended up on the Resolute fucking desk. And he said, "Nah, I'm a dick."
He's European. He can do whatever the hell he wants. What you should have done is you have to make it like a big bust. You have to make it the bust of like the same size as a, the Winston Churchill.
Uh huh.
Oh,
Yes.
speaking of which, I finally found a Trump head for you, Shadow.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you get that Space Marine holding the banner, you know, and I'll find a way. I just have to. I lost touch with this woman who was a friend of Trump's, and she's a friend of mine, and she's big in the Vietnamese community, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll get it to him," because a lot of time that stuff doesn't get to the president or whoever you wanted to, stuff like that. They got to be really careful to make sure it's not made out of toxic shit and stuff like that.
You'll have
If
to
it's
send me a
resin,
reference
it's
for
already
which one
failed.
you want.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm not
Well,
the most
it
familiar with
gets
Space
X-rayed,
Marines.
then shipped, and then they throw it out.
You
Yeah.
need to give it to
Yeah.
Not-
you need to give it to Barron. That's who you need to give it to.
That's what I was actually thinking.
yeah, because he wants a bust of his dad.
No, but if I guarantee you, if you gave him two fucking identical freaking Space Marines of his dad in Space Marine armor, he'd go, "Dad, look, one for you, one for me." You know.
I'm still mad that Jason
like
Hoosier
like him or
doesn't have
not,
his thing by him.
if if somebody famous that you like and you could do something like that for them and they actually accept it and hang on to it for a reasonable amount of time, that's kind of a cool thing to be able to say you did. you know and at the time nobody was thinking of doing it. Nobody had any inclination or whatever, and I could have done it, and who knows? You might have actually seen it on TV once or twice. He's doing a speech, and there's a little freaking space marine off on the side.
No, you don't do a little space marine.
That
Like I
would
said,
have been cool.
you have to get like that bust. You have to get the size of a Warlord Titan or something like that, so it can go in the
Well,
background.
technically, I have two Donald Trump things. One with Donald Trump, as I believe he is supposed to
What's up to
be
you?
Reboot Gilliman, and I have Donald Trump for the God Emperor. Well, the head at least.
Yeah, but
But if I size it right, it'll probably fit on any
okay. All that time I have been freaking
Space Marine.
pin vicing, and still I've only made it about a millimeter deep. And this is fucking lead. At least I think it's lead.
Your vice is dull.
No, it's still making shavings. It's just I don't think it's lead, which is weird because I thought,
It could be mixed.
yeah, it's got to be because if it was lead, it would just drill through it like nothing.
Not always.
Is it pewter or is it what is that other? There's another
I
one.
don't know.
on
Let
there.
me look on the package,
White
the back
metal.
of the package. Hey guys, you guys all know where
That's
the
a
link
fancy
is?
way of saying pewter.
Yep.
Well, sometimes it's got.
There's so many different alloys out there.
Oh, check this out! I've never heard this. I've never heard this. This is not a toy. I've heard that part before. I've said that before. Not recommended for children under 14 years of age.
That's
These
pretty old.
these models are cast in luminite for strength and lightness and brilliance.
Illuminite.
Never heard that before. I'm gonna have to use that.
Illuminite's a new one on me.
Magical metal, luminite. And this was a 1993 model, not an 80s model. So
Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever dealt with Timony?
Timony. Yes, I have.
Timony. Oh, that's
Um,
just hard.
Yeah.
You
What
are
was that
not-
other stuff?
You are not
Not
filing that stuff.
Was it radium or something that sounds like
No.
radium? There's a
Radium
metal.
is the stuff they put in the watches to make it glow.
Atmospherium.
No,
Atmospherium.
that's not real.
2020 test. Oshi Mini? What? I don't know what you're saying there, Mac. 20,
Toshi.
20.
I think that was the Vietnamese lady that you were referring to when you mentioned.
Oh, no.
Toshi.
Her name is Caitlin. Believe it or not.
I will
Real
say
cool
this
lady.
much and I've been looking at certain types of metals when they start doing these forges for weapons. And I do like that. What is it? That is it the nickel bronze or aluminum bronze? That looks nice. Um, to have a
Is it
sword
that
out
it
of
does it
that?
looks does it look almost like the sheen of gasoline?
No, it looks like no. The two things. One is it's hard to rust. That's one of the really nice things about it.
Is
Yeah.
it anything
It's
like
got this golden color about it. So
Okay. Well, the aluminum and copper, yeah, aluminum and copper when put together makes a very brittle metal but it's very very beautiful. It's like how it got that sheen and gasoline has.
Oh, you mean like
it's
they off? You're talking about like that stuff they call mermaid, where it's like bluish, purplish gold,
Uh,
like oil.
yeah, kind of, yeah. That might be it.
In a lot of knives that I've seen, like really crappy, like weird, like novelty knives. They make in this stuff, and they always call it mermaid, because it's kind of like abalone, I guess, uh, or gasoline, like you're talking like oil on water, sort of. It's that
a mother
same
of pearl.
multicolored, swirly looking sheen. That
Well, this what is it? It's the I was looking at some of because they talk about some of these
that
swords
Raven
that they
finally getting
find.
my butt in here.
They look at some of these swords that they find from the
Oh, it's keen.
like 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago. The iron ones are rusted, but the bronze tend to still be in pretty good shape. And they found one of them that was still sharp enough to cut. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, well, how do you get one that's stronger so it just doesn't bend nearly as easily?
Speaking of metals, for you painters out there, why am I the only guy that can't really tell the difference between gold and I think it's brass? They look the fucking same in paint.
That is very common. Also,
Yeah.
I don't drink alcohol, so I can't pretend to be Raven for you, unfortunately.
It's okay. You're still welcome here.
Thank you.
You're always welcome here, bud.
Just get a glass with some ice and kind of rattle it a little bit, and just don't say anything
Yeah.
a lot.
I find the difference between
Yeah,
gold
that's
and
Raven.
brass.
Now have your internet drop so you leave.
I-
or just black out your camera. One of the
Do you have a
other.
cat or six?
Yeah. There's Raven. There's Raven.
And no, I don't have a cat. I thought about having one, and
Because you're a heterosexual male.
Just say
Wait,
meow
wait,
a
wait,
bunch. She'll be fine.
This isn't
wait.
Raven.
If
She's still
having
maybe
a
figuring out
cat
how to
and
get
not
on.
having a cat makes you not a heterosexual male, what about Max? He has a cat.
Hey,
He also has
okay,
a dog,
right up.
but
Okay,
he's gay.
first off, it's well known that he's been having an affair with Hungar since day one.
Wrong,
Okay.
Max.
Mr. Max, we're talking about Mr. Max.
Yeah,
he's been having an affair with Hungar since day one.
and who's he cheating on with the other Max?
Yeah.
So the statement still stands.
Yes.
And
They're Canadian.
No.
It's one and the same.
No. It's not an affair because they're homosexuals. It's just a bathhouse.
yeah, and every time I see Mr. Max, it looks like he just got done working out.
working out.
So what? You have cameras in his studio?
I wouldn't be surprised if Shadow had cameras in the studio.
Trust me,
He paid the cat.
if I had cameras in Mr. Max's studio, I'm certain Mr. Max would be handing me over a whole bunch of his Bitcoin. Keep my mouth shut.
No. He'd be handing you a whole bunch of the Bitcoin and say, "All right, I want the editing
Well,
here.
so
I
it
want
would
this
have to
piece
be
here, and then when you publish it, I want a cut."
Oh
shit! I'm about to lose power. Oh no! I didn't put in my charger.
Hey, if
Anyway,
it
sure,
leaves,
we can
have you
talk
been
about
going
Mac.
out?
So I'll talk to you all later.
Okay. Before you go, look forward to seeing you back at either of the games. But
yeah.
while you're gone, have fun, man.
Have a
All right,
good
like
one.
I said, it'd have to be next week, not this week. So,
That's
you
fine.
take care.
You
Bye.
too, man.
Party on.
Max Meow or Max Lee. That's good.
Yeah, I like Max Meow.
I like both their channels. I've been trying to go over to Max Liao's channel on Fridays before Bo's game, just because they have a lot of opinions over there that are all wrong, and I need to get back on that show at least for one episode in particular, uh, because they need some sagely advice. Um,
Just do it is not sagely advice.
Just do it.
that was funny. No, they're doing a show in May on mixing genres, and that's like my thing. Uh,
Whoa. You're all about mixing something, but not
uh,
genres or
Am I
sexes.
am I in that one or am I in a different one?
that wasn't as funny as you thought it was.
I know, but I read
What
with
is
it
it?
anyway.
Later, I'll give a hoot. God, I haven't heard that in like what 20, 30 years. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Woodsy the owl. Oh, that's right. You guys have Slappy the frog.
Slappy the Frog.
No, that's the Brits who have Slappy the frog.
We have House Hippos.
You probably have a moose of some sort, right?
We have House Hippos. They're an
What's-
endangered species.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Are you talking about the kit bashing episode, Shadow?
Of what?
Max Liao show.
No. Just their the way they
No. I mean, there is a kit bashing episode, and that's where they mix genres of games.
oh no, it's coming up. in
Oh,
May.
kid bashing. Okay, I thought you said kid bashing, like harassing kids.
No. Yeah, don't do that either. No, they're gonna do
Hey! Every once in a while, a kid needs to be given a good smack around.
yeah, spare the rod, spoil the child. They're trying to slap you the frog gay.
Hey, George.
George. Oh,
Boy George.
we lost an element, and we were.
Don't let
Give
him in.
me-
I don't like that name. Sounds like he's going to be gay. Oh wait, never mind.
Do you really want to hurt me?
That was perfect, dude.
Gold star for the week.
Absolutely, George. Welcome to the show, brother. Yeah, no,
I-
Slappy the Frog was the Brits' version of Smokey the Bear.
I put a screen share up.
Is it Slappy the Frog?
No. It's the bust you need.
Oh my god, that's good. Okay, take it down.
Trust me, that if you make that and send it to the White House, it's going up somewhere.
I will admit that while I didn't like the modern version of Beavis and Butthead, them learning about their white male privilege and actually trying to cash in on it was funny.
Yes, it
They're
was.
still making Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, they
they
just came out like a
restarted
year
the
ago.
show,
or so.
like,
Really?
Did they restart the show? That was just a movie.
oh sorry, oh it could also have been a movie. I just know like they made something recently where it's like supposed to be a continuity of the old show, but like
Oh, off grid. You're showing your age, man. That was a dad joke if I ever heard one.
man, the
Oh.
80s when there was a show called Knight Rider, and then
Yeah.
there was Knight Rider, but it was a helicopter, and then Knight Rider, but it was an
Ooh,
attack
the Blue Thunder.
motorcycle.
Are you talking that, or are you talking about the Highwaymen? Because that was badass.
Oh, wait,
Like,
Airwolf
the
was
only
the
guy who knows what
helicopter.
that is. The guy who played
Blue Thunder was a movie about the same concept.
Yeah,
Night-
With the
That's
Schneider
the
guy.
one Nighthawk ripped
the
off.
Highwayman was a made for TV like miniseries movie, whatever, like 3 or 4 episodes, starring the guy who played Flash Gordon, the actor. And when they dyed his hair black, he made the perfect Punisher. But he was this guy who drove around in like the wastelands, in the future or something, in a semi. And the trailer of the semi would unfold, and out would pop his helicopter. I mean, it's dorky as fuck, but it was kind of cool
Oh,
for the 80s, 90s. And I only recently found
And
out.
that's in a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
yeah. That I vaguely remember that with the helicopter being in there.
Yeah.
And like, I just remember the only reason I remembered it, not just because the helicopter, was because when I saw him and they had his hair dark, I'm like, dude, that would make he would make a great Punisher. But of course, like Dolph Lundgren at the time, he could barely speak English, so
Mm.
that was not going to happen. Instead, they
Yeah.
got a bunch of people that did not
They
look.
got Dolph Lundgren.
No, this was after Dolph Lundgren. And
Oh.
everybody I've seen, maybe Thomas Jane, but he just didn't look as big, big enough to be the Punisher. Everybody I've
Yeah.
seen that they've cast as the Punisher was like not even close.
I didn't like the Netflix show of the Punisher.
I
That's
hated
all I'm
it.
gonna say.
He
I liked
seemed
it.
like he was mentally retarded.
I think that's the actor. The actor.
I mean,
That
the
is how the
character.
actor played the role because the lines themselves are fine.
Yeah, I mean, he literally seemed like he was slow. You know what I mean? And
Well, he
like
seemed the
the
same way on The Walking Dead.
uh, it was like he was playing the part of Leon the professional, not the Punisher.
I forgot
Yeah.
who's that.
Leon? It was a movie called
Okay.
Leon the Professional.
I mean, even Rocky seemed like mildly retarded.
Watch it. It's a good one.
Oh yeah, Rocky was meant to seem that way, but the Punisher's not. The Punisher's supposed to be a freaking genius. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
but
this guy
then,
was not a genius.
yeah.
He was, letting people pick on him in the beginning. It's like that would have never happened. Frank Castle would be like, "What?" and just freaking, taking him to school.
I mean,
But
Frank Castle is the cyber guy who see people wielding a pistol wrong and then start to lecture them after disarming them.
yeah,
Yeah. He was a Spurg, a gun Spurg.
yeah, but
And
he
you
was
know
our
what you do with
Gunsberg.
gun Spurg? You put them down. They're bad for society.
But he was our Gunsberg.
Well, didn't they like fuck him up in the comic like recently? Like they made his
You mean
wife
when they made him
basically-
black?
No, like
Yeah,
they like
you mean
they,
they made him
they made
black?
like
That
the
was the
wife
80s.
hate him all along. Like the wife left him and she hated him or something.
Oh,
like that.
that's just modern bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mob didn't. It wasn't the mob that killed his family. It was
He did it.
a government extraction team. 'Cause he had just abducted them, and they're relocated to Kansas under fake names. Still alive. Oh.
But yeah, basically the way he played the Punisher was like, well, not play the Punisher. The character he's played for me came off as he's like a 20-something guy who just came out of the military and maybe have like 3 concussions recently. He did not come
Yes.
off as a family man who has like a veteran and all that.
Yes. I see that. I see that. Wait.
Well, wasn't he also like Secret Service or CIA or some shit?
No, he was LAPD or not LAPD
NYPD?
NYPD. That's who the character's supposed to be, like a Vietnam vet who became a cop. So he's like Rambo, but instead of becoming a hippie after the war, he joined the police force.
And then someone made a mistake. Just
And
one.
then somebody made a mistake. Exactly. Shadow,
I didn't
write
do
that story.
it. I didn't do it.
But not just the fight scenes. You gotta put the stuff in between the fight scenes too.
But nobody cares about that.
Yes, they do.
Actually, they do. Scene
Yeah.
sequel is a very important tool for a writer. I'm just not good at using it.
I'm just trying to get Justin's goat because we were going off, me and Bubba, the other day.
Yeah,
about-
and Bubba's not helping. Well, like I'm trying to give you constructive advice, and he's just trying to be a troll.
And
Which,
if
you know, I
think-
understand, but
and,
you know.
and you thinking that I can't tell the difference and don't take both sides of it to heart is bad on you.
I don't think you understand anything. You're too busy having butt sex with a guy named Carl.
No, none of that's true.
But Carl, that kills people.
Yeah, but killing them from an infectious disease is not the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it could be a prolapsed anus.
Oh
Gross.
If there is
God, I
something
don't even
called
know what that is. I don't want to know,
if
but it
there is
just
something called a
sounds like
prolapse, is there also something called an amateur lapse?
Amateur abs. No, that's just a
Just does it
normal
for the love of
ass.
it.
yeah.
You don't get paid for your lapses.
No, you go into surgery or die.
God, that just sounds so
Just ask,
awful.
just ask
Oh,
Helga
it
what that
is. Like
surgery's
it's a horrible way to die.
Well, they're all horrible ways. I mean, there's
No,
very few
no,
good
no,
ways.
no, 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 no.
I mean,
There are not horrible ways to
you
die.
got to really try for there to be a good way to die. Just say it,
Yeah, it's called like under 5 hot chicks. That's a
Snoo
good
snoo.
snoo,
Death by
but not
snoo.
not giant women.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
normal
yeah.
women. Just like a heart attack. Well, hard, not because your bowel is leaking into your your internal organs.
God, that just sounds so fucking awful.
Yeah, there's a reason why sodomy is a sin,
This is gross as fuck.
because it can kill you,
Well,
and is as gross as fuck.
Also, it's a good way to spread parasites.
It's a good way. Yeah, homophobia is not a hate crime. It's a reasonable disgust response to disease.
yeah. Well, you try telling certain people that, and they
They're
lose the shit.
infected. They are infected. Because not all diseases are viruses. Some are mind
I was
viruses.
wondering, when they finally perfect the zombie virus.
You mean gayism?
No, the zombie virus, the literal, rabies or whatever they're going to use, right? There are going to be people out there freaking defending, that whole phenomenon. They're going to be like, you can't bully them. They have rights too. You're hurting their feelings.
Yeah, you're going to be one of them. I
Or
saw
like,
your response during COVID, the way you were acting. You're going to be one of them.
What are you talking about? My response to COVID.
It's all fake. Take your mescaline now or whatever.
No, I just
Your horse
didn't take anything.
tranquilizer or whatever.
take
No,
your AZT.
I didn't take anything. Honestly, I had
We lost Captain.
I had safety measures in case, but I didn't advocate for anything other
They're,
than
they're
not.
going to develop a vaccine for the zombie virus, and Shadow's going to be, it's going to turn you into a zombie. Don't take it.
No.
The thing is, the way things had happened, I think
What Alex Jones
Like-
said.
Everybody knows there is only one cure for the zombie virus, and that's a direct lead injection to the forehead.
Oh,
Well-
I thought you were about to say,
Yeah,
oh,
like-
it's eating soup Bart Simpsons had bathed in.
What?
I thought it was Charlton Heston's blood.
That's from a Halloween episode of The Simpsons.
I miss those. I haven't
Shadow
seen
doesn't
one.
want Charlton Heston's blood. He wants a different fluid.
I'm
Just
pretty sure
what are you
Charlton
eating?
Heston's blood is still rampaging through his corpse. You dig him up, and he's still,
My cold dead hands.
Welcome back, crafting.
Omega Man.
everything he did was good.
Hi, Crofton.
And so, who's that? Who did good?
Bye, Raven.
George?
Something about blood and cursing through his vein, even though he's dead.
No,
Charlton
Chuck
Heston?
Heston.
Who?
The guy
Yeah,
who played
Charlton Heston.
Taylor in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, he was
Ah.
in he was in gosh,
He was the
what
head of
was
the
it called?
NRA for a while.
Yeah, the movie Omega Man, which is based on a book which they remade into another movie with Will Smith.
5
the end,
times.
which was awful.
yeah, there's a good video about it on Feral Historian's channel. Like he talks about the movie, the book, the other movie, and his
The
own thoughts.
Omega Man isn't even the first one. It was the
Yeah.
Vincent Price movie
Yeah,
originally.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Vincent Price one. I've seen the other ones, and I have not read the books.
Yeah, I like
What else?
the Chuck Heston one better because it had what's her name in it. Oh,
I
God.
don't remember.
I don't remember the woman in it. Pam Grier.
I think so.
Pam
I could be wrong though.
Can you dig it?
Um,
And of course, there's what's that
Soylent
other
Green.
one? Soylent Green.
Best
Yeah,
Charlton Heston movie ever. Soylent Green.
You think so? It's a good one.
No,
Oh, I was going to
no, I
say.
don't. I'm just saying that to be controversial.
yeah.
Have you seen Soylent Green, Dean Powell?
I haven't actually seen it. I only heard, oh, this is the ending. And it's like a commentary on this, on that.
You
Right,
should watch
Joe.
it.
His hair
It's
is
a little
now
slow.
white.
Yeah, it's like a overpopulation kind of thing. My wife got mad at me because my kid was acting up, so I spoiled Soylent Green for her.
What?
Wasn't Thomas Jane the same guy who played Mitch Hunter in the Mutant Chronicles movie? Okay. Yeah, he could maybe do it, but I always picture him as like blonde or with brown hair, and the Punisher's got black hair, so little things like that can throw me when I'm
He
trying
did
to
play
picture
Thomas Jane. He did play the Punisher.
I do find like in a lot of movies, like if there's similar, they don't even have to be like lookalikes or anything, but people that look kind of similar, it'll throw me off in a movie
Take care, Mac.
or a TV show. Like, there's two brunettes in a movie, and like I'm like, I don't know who's who. They could be
Wow.
like, one could be skinny, one could be fat. I'm like, oh, there's two brunettes in it. I'm like,
Squirrel.
Bro,
Squirrel.
bro.
All Google requests have to wait until Raven's here, and she'll do them for us because it's priceless.
Mhm.
And yes, fire is the best disinfectant.
Bro, I hate to be brutally honest with you, but they haven't made a Coke bottle with a glass bottom as thick as the glasses you wear.
Who?
George, he
Oh.
wears some pretty hefty lenses,
yeah,
so it's reasonable you can't tell people apart on a TV screen.
Mr. Magoo.
Good for you.
I work for a guy who
Corpse
called me
starch is
Mr.
Soylent
Magoo.
Green. Yes, it is.
Magoo.
And Tuesday is Soylent Green Day.
Is it?
Yes.
So speaking of cornstarch and Soylent Green, what do you guys think of the idea that it's not that America is like built on like burial grounds of Indian, is that it is built on the sacrifice to the corn demon?
Yeah, it
I can
used to
see
be built on burial grounds for Native Americans, but they all got drunk, so nobody cares about them anymore. It's the corn sacrifices and the Zionism that America's built on now. You know,
Can it
state
be
religion.
both? Can it be both? There's room to share.
Yeah. But the spirits of the Indians are over there drunk on the corn whiskey. Because in America everything's made with corn.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Better not be
Do you
any
want
corn?
corn?
Mistake, just saying.
Do you want some corn? It's the one thing not made from corn.
Right?
Corn.
Because they genetically modified it to no longer be corn.
It's now a pig. Loink.
There better not be any corn in my freaking filet mignons in the freezer. Just saying.
There probably are. There probably is. It's probably put together with meat glue. You know what meat glue is?
No.
It kind of looks like a strain of fat in the meat, but it's actually a paste they use to attach two offcuts together and make them look like one.
Oh, that's fucking wrong.
Yeah. That was the thing they were saying with Subway chicken, is that it was like 60% meat glue.
Ew.
I won't eat
Yeah.
Subway to begin with.
Yeah.
not because the meat isn't meat, but if I want a sandwich,
Yeah.
I can make a sandwich. It's not hard, and I can get all the same shit, and the meat won't suck, and I won't cover it in rabbit food.
And the bread won't give you diabetes.
Right, right.
Legally, a cake
Diabetes.
in at least one country.
Really, that
Uh,
does not surprise me even the slightest.
Ireland declared the bread that Subway uses legally cake
That
due to the
explains why
sugar
Raven's there
content.
so often.
Yeah.
I
Pickle Island.
Their meatballs are freaking disgusting. I wouldn't be surprised if they're
They
made out.
used to be good.
And their tuna is uh, just
It's
it's
fishy
mostly
tasting.
it's mostly tuna water and
Yeah.
foam rubber,
I can believe that.
I like the
and
meatballs from like
just
IKEA.
awful. I'd rather eat tuna out
From
of a can.
IKEA.
Sorry.
we have a chain called Mr. Subs. They are far superior.
I mean, it's not
Well,
hard to be better than what do you call it, Subway, given that all their products are made to be frozen down and last for
Yeah.
a while. And also us making fun of how much sugar there is in their bread.
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
it's
I
it seems
seriously think the popularity of Subway, the thing that made them so good, was the fact that they bake locally in the store the
a
the
cake.
the
Yeah.
cake, thus making that smell, right? Like, because the good
Yeah,
smell
because you open the
attracts.
door and the restaurant next on either side of them now wants to eat there.
Yeah,
But here's the thing. I mean,
which is smart marketing.
if you find a place that makes bread that you can, that you like, that isn't cake, um, you could literally just make a Subway sandwich at home every day for like half, not even half the price. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
To
and
be fair, they are very expensive nowadays, like every other fast food option. Like
Yeah.
something foot long for $1, or however much it was.
it was a
$1.
$5 foot long,
Yeah.
hmm
and
And
now that's like
now you don't even get half
10.50.
that. Now you don't even get a half a sandwich for that.
No, it's like I think it's $7 or $8 for half the sandwich.
Yeah, those.
Uh,
I remember those were
it's
like a
like
lot of
$12
innuendo in those
for
commercials.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Jared turned out to be a pedo, so they're not
Yeah, I
getting
think
my
that,
Yeah. I'm on the Reddit, right, and I'm on the terrible book covers. And not too long ago, his book came up. It's like the 12 steps for good living or whatever. It's like,
Hey, what's
what's
up,
step
Richard?
13? Under 14, or something like that.
So who's Jared?
Jarrett used to
He
be the like
the spokes guy
personality.
in the commercials.
Yeah,
Ah,
and it's
yeah,
like I used to be this fat, and then I ate only at Subway, and now I'm like this skinny, and
yeah. Like he'd had his old pants on, and like you could like it was like a foot of gap in the pants.
yeah,
so
Yeah,
it was.
he
So it
neglected to
was.
tell everybody he was getting all the exercise he needed from raping children.
Okay,
well,
so it
no,
wasn't
from what I understand,
the
he never
subway that made
actually,
him famous. It was the blood of the sacrifices, or where are we going with this?
yeah.
Might
Well,
have been.
it's also like they would not tell you that he was eating only like the cold cut, the
Ah,
small cold cut, so that they would get you. They would get you with the I lost all this weight, and then followed up with the
I'll be
five
right
dollar
back,
foot
guys.
long ad, and
Yeah, the
the
bread's the
like
killer.
the meatball like sandwich or the pizza or whatever. So
Mm.
you would go and buy the most fattening sandwich.
yeah.
It's like I love the or he was also going to the gym, right? Like they'd imply that he wasn't doing any exercise or anything like that. Um, but
Remember remember the South Park episode with him?
I've got AIDS. I've got AIDS. Right? He means
Eating the dead horse.
assistance. It's like, but I have AIDS. I have AIDS.
There actually used to be a weight loss supplement from like the late 60s, early 70s
Oh
called
yeah.
Aids. It was like a snack that you would eat, like a little ice cream or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that
Stop
one.
eating my AIDS.
Yeah, there was a period where every fourth gen edition streamer played that at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking. Oh, the good old days. The
I
pizza
haven't watched
sub.
South Park in a long
Oh,
time.
I
Is it
love
still
the
I-
pizza
happening?
sub, man. The pizza sub with some jalapenos and
Mm.
a single line of mustard, but always kick that fucking thing off just perfectly. You get a little bit of tang in there because
I'm sure.
the marinara sauce is very bland.
I'm sure you also missed the days when like a whole meal at Taco Bell was $5 or less.
I went into a Taco Bell when I was in high school with a $10 bill. And I said, just give me this many of bean burritos. And I walked out with like 17 bean burritos, not realizing. Because I didn't actually look at the board and I hadn't really eaten at Taco Bell all that often. And now you couldn't even buy a fucking bean burrito with that $10 bill, let
Yeah.
alone 17 of them.
Yeah.
That is not just Taco Bell awkward. That's every what do you call it condiment that uses seed oil as a base because it's fluid at room temperature. Whether you think it's
Yeah.
bad for you or not, that's why they do it.
Yeah, the Spurg right community overplays the toxicity of that stuff. It's not that toxic, man. You just don't want to be like eating the wrong seeds. Like your canola seeds are just fine for you.
Says the Canadian.
Yeah, aren't there?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's usually the one that
Yeah.
that's the big complaint.
aren't there like
Like,
plenty of other things they can make oil out of that aren't so bad, or are they just looking for the worst thing or the cheapest?
in that case, it's the cheapest, and it's only cheap because like
Nobody wants
there
it.
no uh, during the World War II, there was an oil shortage for lubricant, and the industry was set up like we knew this could be done as like a food thing, but it was also good enough for a lubricant in a pinch. So
Okay.
they pushed the manufacturing industry to develop for it quickly, and
Yeah.
because all that infrastructure was there after the war, it just went. It became a glut on the market, and then everybody started using it
Yeah.
because it was a glut on the market.
We all
I
remember the lube shortage.
so I have
Well,
a question about
machine lube.
so I have a question about canola oil.
Yeah.
Did that used to have another name? Because I see two names here.
Yes. One that you can't
rapeseed.
really say on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can say it. You can say rapeseed oil is literally teetoilers. Actually, canola was a branding here in Canada because it was a Canadian manufacturer. Is canola oil, Canada oil, man.
Yeah.
It's Canada
In
oil.
So
Denmark,
it's made out of
we
real Canadians.
Yes,
Mhm.
made by real Canadians for real Canadians. Patriotism and shit.
in Denmark we call it raps oil, RAPS oil.
Hops.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we call it here. It's just got changed though.
Yeah. No, it's literally the it's a branding thing. That's the only reason. I think the company that did that, I was watching a cooking channel that
Horse glue soup.
Also,
Yeah.
Awkward, you're welcome to come
horse
in.
soup is good.
Awkward, you're welcome to come on stream and debate this with Justin. We have 5 minutes.
What do you mean we have?
Or an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
shadow
but-
show.
This stream was 2 hours. My bad.
My streams.
We
are 2
never know
hours.
how long. We never know how long
tell
the
you,
show is going to be. It
maybe.
depends on who shows up. And I didn't realize that this show has suddenly become like a health food channel. But there you go.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with right wingers' health food advice. It comes from hippies, and hippies are retarded.
Got
Well,
my
I mean, you
colloidal
guys are all
silver.
giving good advice so far.
Yeah.
Also, while we at it, before people get into fasting, look up the. Sorry, I'm gonna give it 1 minute while I actually look up the name of that study because
Okay.
they made like starvation studies back during World War II in the U.S. and they found out that you should be careful about cutting calories on the long term.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
You
trying to
don't want
tell
to
my
go more
son
than
that
3
because
days.
he's given up breakfast for all of Lent, and it's driving me crazy.
No, that's not unhealthy. That you can do that. That's fine.
Well, he's pretty lean, so it might be like it's a good thing to like to fast, like have a longer fast. But yeah, but he's
Okay, so this
from what he looks
Minnesota
like.
starvation experiment, basically, when they say starvation, they mean less than calories, not like not eating food. So we're talking about.
Oh yeah, because he makes up for the calories, So it's like,
Oh,
what's the point?
you're not supposed to do that. Like, if you're gonna do what they call it's called intermittent fasting, where you
Yeah,
just like don't eat for like a 12-hour block, but you've got to not change the way you eat afterward. You've got to eat normally after that. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're just shoving it in, your body won't process the material spread out over, so you'll end up just piling it into
hey Raven,
fat cells more. So he'll end up getting fatter because of doing that.
right?
Again, awkward. That's not what they found in the Minnesota starvation experience. Or experience. What they found is like what fasting does is
Ah,
yes, it
son
does
of a.
give your stomach a break. You don't always need a break. It helps you get rid of endotoxin. For that, you can also just take activated charcoal or something like that, like once a week.
Yes, but one of those is free.
give my stomach a
Hey, what's
break.
up,
That sounds
crafting?
like
Are you in
something
the? Are you in
something my
the
wife would say. Give your
thing? And I
stomach a
didn't
break.
see you. Sorry, I just got back.
What the fuck? Crafting, you only
It's one
need
of
to
the
hit
longest links
HI,
I've ever
man.
seen. Why do you send us these long ass links that nobody's? I'm not going to click them.
It's not a
Who's
that,
that?
that's just me playing with the keyboard.
Okay,
Yeah, he just smashed
sorry,
the
I
keyboard.
stepped away. So,
No, that's fine. I don't mind sitting backstage just in
Who?
case my computer freaked out again.
And sorry, what did you say, Justin? That Chris said you said?
The intermittent fasting, not eating for a 12-hour block.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna just add the carbs later, you're
yeah,
just gonna
but
end up getting
I do that every
fatter.
night. That's called sleeping.
No. In addition to that, it's like basically skip
I wish I got 12
like
hours of sleep.
you don't
I
eat
would literally
from
kill two people for 12 hours of sleep.
yeah you don't eat from whenever your dinner is. So say six
Yes,
o'clock.
Raven, we've been waiting here patiently for you. Everybody's been waiting, and
I get like aches if I sleep too long. Like I would
Yeah.
want to sleep longer, but like I would wake up with a backache.
what?
Yeah.
You are getting old if you hurt yourself from
Well, I
sleep.
sleep on my side.
Oh,
I do too.
I sometimes get cramps, but then I just roll onto the other side. Well,
Yeah,
actually, I haven't had that problem in 2 weeks because I
you
haven't been
know,
able to get more than an hour and a half of sleep per day in the last 2 weeks. So, fuck you all. Fuck
there
you all to
there was
hell.
this I had this comic book. I used to get this all the time when I was a kid, and it was old when I got it, but I got it because it was old. It was called Where Monsters Dwell. Anybody ever
Oh
heard of
my
it?
nose itches. Or,
It was
Only
like
oh
in
no.
real life.
no, it was like a 1950s or 60s Marvel comic book, and it was just a bunch of short stories, kind of like Creep Show. And there was this
Let's
one,
see.
and I'll never forget it because it was genius and silly and scary all at the same time. The aliens had come to Earth, right? And they wanted to challenge the Earthmen at one of their whatever their favorite sport or whatever it was for dominion over the Earth, and they tricked the aliens into thinking that their favorite pastime or sport or whatever it was, I don't remember exactly, was sleeping. And whoever slept the longest would win.
And they just presented a guy in a coma.
I don't know what they did about that, but it ended with the alien, he's all snoozing, thinking, I'm just going to sleep. I'm not going to wake up, And
Here.
it was just I
Um,
always think about that when I think about how I would literally kill two people to get 12 hours of sleep, uninterrupted without having to pee, which is never going to happen. Just 12 hours, just if I had three wishes from a genie, there's one of the wishes right there.
Mm.
now
Saw palmetto will help.
side tangent for next week when we do the book club.
Uh-huh.
We're doing the whole book, all 16 pages of book one, which is 11 stories, correct?
All 16 pages.
116, sorry.
Oh, okay. It was like 16 pages. I'm doing extra credit at that point.
Yeah, yes,
But yes, we're
sorry.
going to read the whole book.
Yeah. If you want to skip story two, Good Life, you can go watch the Outer Limits episode
Okay.
from the early 2000s.
They did it?
They did that. They did that story almost verbatim.
Really?
That they dropped the character, the mainline recurring character. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about, but I can't
Yeah,
remember the name either.
his name is Hemphill. They dropped Hemphill. And it's just the kid and the chick, and the machine's trying to get them to breed.
All right.
But
It took
yeah,
me a minute to it took me a minute because I had to log back into my Pinterest. George, I just put a picture. In fact, I can actually bring it up on myself and have Shadow show it.
Sure.
Appendix N. Oh, cool.
oh,
But I'm waiting for it.
I sorry, one thing at a time. Okay.
Sure.
you want me to bring it up?
Yeah.
Justin's faster. Yes, go ahead.
You put it in the book club, right?
Yep.
Also, the way that works is the parents has to pretend nothing is wrong, so the kid stands up without crying.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Does that remind me of something? Like I've actually fell on my face
I
when I was
can't I
a kid.
can't read it on my screen for some reason.
Kidding.
It says, "So you slept funny, huh?"
Oh
Exactly.
no, is this the? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, getting hurt as a child.
Getting her as a child. Poop. Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Poop.
The weirdest is like
Oh
you
yeah,
just have no
yeah.
clue why.
Just get
My knee hurts. I have no clue
perfectly
why.
fine. Yeah, perfectly fine. So you slept funny. Getting hurt as an adult.
Yeah, but that would only leave me two wishes.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's kind of funny. It's like everything happens to you as a child, and it's just like you walk away from it. And
I
What's
then,
up,
literally,
Paul?
I literally fell out of a tree,
yeah.
and the
Well, that
bruising
happened in
pattern
panel
should have.
one.
I'm sorry, what?
That happened in panel one of the story crafting. It didn't
I
happen to
remember like
you.
rolling down my basement stairs, like literally hitting every step and hitting the concrete at the bottom. And
Oh,
I didn't go to the
well,
hospital or anything.
well,
Yeah,
well.
I'm
For
good.
me, it was just the stairs because I live in an apartment. All the stairs are made out of concrete here, and
Ah.
they've got the nice the nice metal trim on the edge.
Oh, good.
Are they the ones made out of pebbles? Get that pebble coating on the top.
No,
Like a terrazzo. Yeah, there's like a
no, they're
nosing to keep
tiled.
the it's a piece of metal that you put to keep the nosing from chipping.
Yeah. Well, they're tiled, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, because it's an apartment, not a basement. Like my my apartment is 2 stories, so I have like an upstairs and downstairs.
So it's
Yeah.
like a townhouse, but it's part of a gigantic freaking project.
Yes, it's a 15-story building, motherfucker.
Yeah, we call those projects here.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
the
have a
project.
question actually
I live in
related
the
to
ghetto,
wishes and being a GM. Now
There's
You
a
we
got to
have
sing it
Canadian,
like Cartman. In the Canada.
but it's a Canadian ghetto, so I wear a top hat and shit.
Yeah, but it's like, from the 1920s and it's been handed down for generations. It's
That's
your
besides
sole
the point.
inheritance.
That's besides the point.
honestly, I imagine like Justin is straight out of Compton, but it's sung like Nickelback.
I bet you could do that with that AI program. It's like,
Suno.
yeah, Suno is get the lyrics to Straight Outta Compton and just like make it a pop ditty.
I always like the James Taylor version of "All Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind." Have you heard that?
No, you have to
Oh, you're
send it
gonna
to me.
make me lose my mind up in here, up in here. You're gonna make me go all out up here. It's like
So yeah,
you
yeah.
make me
Speaking
like
of
a strip
wishes,
club.
I
I know
actually have a
what.
question
I just
concerning
gotta get
that that
mine.
relates
He's
to
singing a song
role-playing
right now.
games. If your
Sorry.
players come with like a contract because they know they get free wishes and they don't want to be like a monkey paw, how do you react to that? Like if they come with like a contract in legalese, like this is our wishes and this is all a stipulation and
Here are all the sub clauses.
yeah.
Well, you make them actually come with a written out contract, and then you feed it to ChatGPT and ask for loopholes, and it will tell you all the loopholes.
Yeah, it's just allegedly Black Lords Gaming. Their players came with a 300-page legalese contract because, yeah,
I
they're
want
going.
the actual physical 300 pages.
They did. One of them were apparently a lawyer
Oh
and
yeah,
did that in his free time.
yeah. No, no.
A for
And
effort, but I would tell them your characters will not have such knowledge. Sorry,
yeah, that's
they
one way
don't.
to do
That's
it.
that's
He's
that's game. That's world knowledge and game. You know, your players wouldn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now they just wouldn't. A for effort. I might go a little easier on you if you make some if you word the wish, dumb.
What
But
I want to know is why your government is sending me a fucking 1042S.
you haven't heard.
Yeah.
It's all about the 51st state, buddy.
Shut up. No. It's my Amazon earnings.
Uh,
Uh,
Amount paid out to the
Come
U.S.
on, that was
government
funny.
0 because fuck you. I'm not a citizen of your country.
Yeah, well, stranger things have happened, and
No. It's my Amazon tax statement.
no, I, I,
It
I,
says
I,
so right there, right
I
under
know. I
my
just like giving you
address. If you
shit
want to
because
see it, if you can make it out,
no, no,
if you
don't.
can make out my address and my full fucking legal name.
Yeah, Justin,
yeah, he's in apartment 420 on street 69.
I've said my address live on the show before, bro.
I know, but I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
also, crafting the second comic you sent, that's usually a sign of either bad bacteria in the stomach or candida.
What?
Ah. Oh, I put another comic in the Discord.
oh, did you? I'll have to look at it later because.
Yeah.
So I got most of this mech together. Now I'm just drilling the holes for his legs.
Yeah.
Typical chicken walker.
Right, Slim.
Is that a mech or is that thing from RoboCop?
You see, that's what I was saying because it's an old 25 millimeter scale mini next to a here. Let me just get a proper 28 millimeter character next to it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way you're fitting in that.
You
Well,
gotta like center it, bro.
Yeah,
Put it
well,
sorry.
right there.
I was
you
looking
are,
at
but
3D.
you're literally a Zentradi at that point. You're hunched up into a little ball, and you better hope you don't get cramps.
Oh, you
Yeah.
could definitely get cramps. But so it would make for a pretty. It would. It
yeah,
would.
yeah,
It
yeah,
would,
yeah. Because you're a chick, and it's that time of month, right, Shadow?
it would make for a decent. What was that robot called?
At 209.
It would
Ed.
make, and mind you, uh, it's not done. It's got two like Vulcan rotary can. Fuck, you can't see it, but because I'm holding them, but it's got these two machine guns for arms.
You got
So
30 seconds to comply.
yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
perfect for that.
but yeah, it doesn't look big enough even for crunched up. If it also needs space for ammo.
Right.
No, that's a knockoff at 209 off grid. It's just
It,
some walker robot from
yeah, it's a
Future
Grenadier
Wars or whatever.
1993 assault walker,
Yeah.
and even if you put 25 millimeter miniatures next to it, I don't see them fitting unless your head and shoulders. I don't know if you can see this. It's got this dome on top,
Yeah, I could
and
see
your
maybe the
head and
head being in
shoulders
the
would be
dome.
stuck in that dome, looking
Just the
around.
head, just the head. I can see
Yeah,
it having like a motorcycle style seat inside,
maybe.
like
You know,
a crotch rocket, not a
And
Harley.
that's not true, Paul. And the gangs were too wide.
The gangs were too white.
Yeah, he says funny how they described Detroit perfectly 30 years ago.
Yes, okay, the gangs were too white. And so were the corporation employees.
hey Raven.
Hey Raymond, nice hat.
Oh, thank you.
It's a
How you doing?
beret. You better either be smoking a cigarette on a really long pipe or
Cigarette
painting
holder.
something.
I have one of those
Yeah.
around here somewhere. I haven't seen it in about a year or so, but
Of course she does.
I've
I'm in
no
the
doubt.
garage.
Do you also have a long coat made out of Dalmatians?
Right
Two
now, you look
Labradors.
Willa.
like you could. You know, Raven. You know, Raven. When you finally get around to doing the proper thing and making that jerky, like I told you, you could probably make a coat out of those cats.
I'm gonna make a hat out of the raccoons first.
Yeah, then you got to make the jacket too, and trust me, that's just going to stink to high heaven. You don't want that. You'll never get that smell out.
Those little guys, they got through my booby trap. I had the booby trap in this file cabinet here with the cat food, and somehow, and I even had a board up against it so they couldn't open it. And I jammed a paint stick, extender thing through both of the handles and had it bungee corded all up, and they still got in it. So they had to go and get a bag of food for them. They ate all of it.
That's hysterical, Paul.
Raven,
Detroit was used in the Red Dawn remake as a damaged American city. The irony. Yeah,
Raven, as long as the raccoons know there's food and there's no danger to them, they will always figure it out. You literally have to start shooting them to get rid of them.
They are amazing how they can get into stuff. I mean, I thought that was
Yes, I
a
hate raccoons, but they are, I will literally say right now, they are one of the smartest animals in the animal kingdom.
You
Yes,
know,
they
if
are.
you take an old broom handle, I know you've got plenty of there, right?
Yeah,
Take an old
yeah.
broom handle and hang one of the fucking things from one end and put it out on the yard in front of the door, and the others will get a fucking clue.
I think so. I don't know. I don't
If not,
know.
the cops will show up asking you why you hate the black people for hanging coons.
trash
One or the
pandas. Yeah,
other. One or the
yeah,
other.
yeah. Just be careful that you are referring to trash pandas and not the trash panda, because we don't talk about the
He's a
trash
trash
panda.
seal, accordingly.
Yeah. We've decided that he's from Nunavut, Nunavut. So he's a seal clubber, and
Oh no,
Mm.
that's
Possums are
terrible.
worse.
well,
They're
That's
nasty.
horrible.
he's some sort of person of that type.
That's terrible. Who
Yeah.
you know someone like that?
So what you're saying, Awkward, is that I should
Isn't his
No,
name
no,
Steve?
place.
I don't know.
Oh.
Sorry, Deepak, you were saying.
So what you're saying, Awkward, is I should lace the cat food with the wormwood.
But not the goofer dust.
Oh gosh, the cat just knocked over the phone. Just sit down. Get off that. Donnie, move. There we
Shout
go.
out, do you know what goofer dust is?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Good boy.
I'm the goodest of boys.
Stay away from the hoodoo.
Get the hell off the
Are you gonna go
Bye,
full
George.
voodoo? Bye, George.
Take care,
Party
George.
on.
Hopefully, we'll see you
Yeah.
Bye,
Saturday.
see you Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh, that reminds me. There's another actually really good one of the other rap songs I like. Hoodoo Your Voodoo, bitch.
There you go.
It's about a necromancer.
Yeah, that's what hoodoo is, man. And goofer dust is graveyard soil.
Oh, okay. I remember hearing about it now.
You
sounds
can't take it
vaguely
over
familiar.
moving water or a river. Doesn't matter. So you better not live on a little thing if you need to use it to seal your boundaries or whatever. I know you're into that kind of stuff. Raven told me.
What are you talking about? It's satanic. We don't tolerate that around
No,
this
no. Hoodoo is a branch of Christianity.
part. My ass it is.
Yeah. Christianity adapts local practices to its own belief, and hoodoo is when they incorporated a bunch of black people. So you got spellcraft and necromancy in Christianity now.
No, we don't, because that goes against.
No, it's right in there. They incorporate it. Hoodoo is the Christian branch of
They're
voodoo.
full of shit, and they're trying to put one over on
No,
people.
it's not how that works. If you're gonna take Christmas, you gotta take the goofer dust.
No, we don't, because that's
Then stop
sorcery.
celebrating my fucking Christmas, you damn weirdo.
Yeah, exactly. Off grid. Hold on a second. My goofy dog wants in here. Come on. And all I have to do to get him to run away now, because he knows bath time is right around the corner, is be nice to him. That's how smart this dog is. If I'm nice to him, he's like, "Oh shit, it's bath time. He's gonna trick me."
Bye, Raven.
I think the cat knocked down the
Yeah.
phone.
Heretics
Or
burn.
will
They
this
do.
time.
I think the cat finally slit her throat and is drinking her blood.
Ah.
That's what they do
That's what they do.
mostly.
Mostly, they come out at night. Mostly.
Who's farting into the microphone?
Not me.
Not me.
Remember off grid that if you want to burn them through, you got to put them in some sort of vessel. You can't have an open air burn pit for bodies. It doesn't work properly. And according to the Nuremberg trials, Jewish women are a fuel source that you can use. But only Jewish ones. No other women.
Welcome back,
There we
Raven.
go. I never left. I don't know what happened.
You most certainly
The
did leave, or I
cats
wouldn't have
ate
to
you?
push the button.
But I was in the back room. It bounced me to the back room. And I was trying to say, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Cat spirits.
Something, I don't know what. Here we go. Mute that. There we go. Okay. Oh no, I need a drink.
No, you want to drink.
No, I need a drink.
I've got the food of my people.
What?
You've got what?
Pizza? Also, I know there's no D in pizza. I just started pronounce it like that because it's funny.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Paul. It's like this every live stream.
Justin eats pizza. We call Shadow gay. Raven bounces in and out best she can. I'm silent but deadly.
And when he does talk, he's giving up
Like a
too
fart.
much too much personal information. Justin always pivots to anti-Semitism, and I just sit here and moderate the shit.
Moderate would be a
It's not
strong word for what
anti-Semitism.
you do.
Yeah.
It's confirming the truth.
I will say there is a lot of weird things like made canon by the Nuremberg trials because they didn't sort people through. Like the people who died on a roller coaster during the Holocaust. But that's all I'm gonna say. Because
Death
you are not
coasters are
actually.
real. Otherwise, you're a bigot.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna go into details, but the people have actually been taken down for discussing what's in the Nuremberg trial.
Uh, nice, Paul. Poutine is gravy potatoes made by lazy college students, not cooks.
But it tastes good. And it's a national treasure. And if you have a
I,
problem
I
with it, go back to your fucking gas station.
I'm not even. I'm looking for like new things instead of ketchup because ketchup is not really tomatoes anymore. Neither is most of the stuff that I substitute like barbecue sauce and
It isn't. What is ketchup then?
Corn.
Cat's blood.
cat's blood. I wish. Then it would be nutritious somehow. No, it's
Um,
mostly corn syrup. Even
You're
the stuff
kidding.
Nope.
Yeah.
even the stuff that says it's not corn syrup is then just sugar, and it should
Or
just be
coconut
mostly
oil.
tomatoes, water, and vinegar, and that's about all you really need. But
No,
Well,
you will
it's
find
always had sugar in it.
well, the
some,
food.
but not to the extent that we've grown accustomed to.
Well, Bear described the food industry perfectly. It is nothing but a bunch of greedy old men trying to figure out how to make food in the perfect combination of fat, sugar, and salt to make everyone addicted to your version of it.
Hmm.
And it's
Well,
not even real sugar, it's high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, even we have some products out here now that say there's none of that in it.
But you can believe that as far as you can throw it.
Also,
Right.
I have a conspiracy theory concerning sugar. It's not that they wanted to cut off Cuba and the like for like. They did want to cut off Cuba and the like the Caribbean and South American countries, like their cane sugar. But they could just have grown that in Florida.
Mm.
So the conspiracy is
So,
not that they're
so
cutting cane sugar off from that. It's that they didn't want to give Florida another, what do you call it,
well,
industry.
it's not just Florida because they used to grow cane sugar all across the southern United States, but one of the Reformation after the Civil War policies was limiting the amount of cane sugar they could grow, and that's never changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Given how good cane sugar actually is as a sugar source, that's very evil.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
it wasn't just cotton that they grew on plantations.
I
It
mean,
was also
cotton,
cane
that's
sugar.
also like a myth about how hard it was to harvest and process.
Mm.
It's just it was very monotonous work.
it is. It is a plague.
It's hard work for a day or two,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the time you're just, it's seasonal work.
Yeah.
And it's the thing. It's like, I'm not going to go into that.
That's okay.
You can do your slavery research on your own. You want me to talk about slavery? It's going to be some joke about corn pop.
I thought you were going into a tourist chic and how you had to commission
Hey, have you ever
art
had
for his
corn pops?
documentary.
Those things are freaking delicious, man.
No, the thing that started the rift between me and Bear was the
Oh.
corn pop joke.
What was the joke?
Well, it wasn't really the joke. I think it was Justin doing blackface.
Which is not a thing.
You know what I mean, though. trying to sound.
Bear's exact words is anti-Semitism.
But that wasn't the thing at the time. So
Yeah, I was going to say I don't remember that part of that show, and um, when they stop demanding that they get treated better and completely different when it comes to freedom of speech, uh, I'll, I'll I'll think differently. But right
yeah.
now, when
Well, it won't
any
be an issue then.
right any criticism of one group is not okay, but every other group is okay. When you need that kind of
Oh,
protection, there's something going on, and I don't know what it is. And so
they're
my
allowed to talk about us and shape policy about us, but we're not allowed to even consider that they exist.
even factual criticism is anti-Semitism because they're Jewish.
Legally.
That's
Legally.
yeah, legally. That's fucking bullshit. I will not bow to that.
And
I'm going to say
Orange Man
whatever I
Bat has
want about.
expanded those laws.
I know. I'm gonna rail against everybody equally and hate everybody equally and make fun of and joke about everybody equally. And what are they gonna do? Shut me up? Then they're scared of what I have to say. Sucks to be them. I'm fucking nobody, and you're gonna be
The
scared of
thing that
me.
the thing that really
Wow.
pissed me off
Thanks for all
about
that
that
power that I didn't know I had.
the thing that really pissed me off about that is he then went on to a show with Hungar, right? And started doing that whole it because of the new laws and stuff. But he was referencing that law that I told you about. I don't own a social media platform. I am not Facebook, Twitter, or Pornhub, and that also wasn't fucking child porn, which that law was about. So the C63, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey, if I get something wrong, I'll admit it.
yeah.
And the source had, I don't think they had. I don't think they said what they said.
The
Uh,
guy running for our conservative party went on fucking the news and did the exact same thing. But when you actually look up the law, it's got to be about social media networks not taking down fucking child porn or hidden cameras or deep fakes.
revenge porn, stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that stuff. And they were no, it's but you're saying it's saying the N word on Facebook. And I was like, no. First of all, you would
What are black people going to have to talk about?
exactly.
Also, it's our word, not theirs. They can say "ga."
Yeah, they can say "ga," what he said.
Also, awkward. That is in. You are technically correct, but it's more like they could get dual citizenship at any time. They don't actually
Wow,
have it.
off grid, that was fucking great. I'll take and New York tunnels for $100. That was
Man,
really good, dude.
that
You
that was
really need to come on the show. I'm telling you,
man.
man.
There was a lot of people there. Was like, man, I've been talking this for years, and now it's suddenly happening.
Yeah. I will take stained mattresses for 50, Alex.
And then they try to say, "Oh, it's this gruel we are making for this period of time."
I believe that was just dirt stains, but it's still like you couldn't clean that shit up.
Yeah.
No, because you're an orthodox freaking weirdo with your stupid side locks and your
Yeah, I know you're not talking about me because
yeah. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the tunnel Jews.
I want a stuffed crust pizza.
Oh, they just implemented a new stuffed crust at Domino's, but I don't want to pay the $3 for it.
$3.
I was gonna make a
Jeez.
penny pinching joke, but
It's
I thought better of it.
it's $2 to
No.
add a slice of bacon at my local Arby's.
It's what?
Not joking. $2 for a slice of bacon.
Well, make it a double and just go buy a pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Or better yet, you know what you can do? I mean, if you want to be really cheap, you can just microwave a couple of slices of bacon, throw it in a Ziploc bag, and then say, "No, I brought my own."
Yeah.
I love this. I was at Harvey's, which is a place we have here.
Yeah, we used to.
No, it's mm,
Well, we
not
had a
the same.
Harvey's.
Not the same Harvey's.
Slow week at the truck shop, Justin.
No. I'm just a cheap ass bastard. I have mostly Anglo blood in me,
What's the
and
rest?
Anglos were tight fisted, but not manipulative enough, or we'd still have our empire. You guys wouldn't be no fucking tea spilling bastards. You'd be kneeling to the king like you should be.
Well, yeah, but what
But-
king? You know, if you're talking, the Christly king, yeah.
No,
I
no,
still,
no.
can, I
You
still
guys-
can't
No,
believe
he's
the
talking about
choices
Elvis.
between a George and a George.
Elvis?
No. I'm talking about King Charles or whatever. So
Is
Harvey's,
he
right?
right? Is he right? Is Paul right? When the igloos melt, you all get new addresses?
Yeah. I'm still rebuilding that fucking living room, man. One heat wave. They had the Canadian bacon at the Harvey's. I got that on my burger, and the guy accidentally put on like the grill. Like he put the stuff on, and then someone came in and put it on as well. The bacon.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, "Oh fuck, do you want these extra 4 slices?" And I was like, "Can I buy a bun?" I had my burger, and then I had a ham sandwich.
So you just have two
Nice.
sandwiches? I thought you were just going to make a fat joke. It's like, do I look like I turned down bacon?
Yeah, it's like, "Can I buy a bun?" And he's like, "I'll just give you one." Cool.
Nice.
I'll put some hot peppers and mustard on that. little onion.
I don't know who you are, but you're
That
pretty.
is also a good one, Paul.
Do you put the dog sled on wheels in summer, or do you just wait 2 weeks?
Also,
that was
question:
pretty good,
how
dude.
is it the ham is called Canadian bacon?
Not all ham is called Canadian bacon. It's a very specific slice.
Yeah, it was a marketing thing for this one piece of pork that wasn't selling. So some guy just cured it like bacon and labeled it Canadian bacon.
I love Canadian health care. A Band-Aid or die, no in between.
What is this about Canada and like all their known things on marketing? Like,
Every known thing is marketing, bro. We're just
well, I mean,
honest
more
about
like
it.
whatever. Sorry,
Oh, I know this because I look into things.
okay.
I do it professionally. It's my job.
See, I thought you did it because you were fat and lazy, so you just get bored.
Oh, the food related
Can it be
things
both?
because I'm fat and lazy.
Speaking of being fat and lazy, I missed the times when like you could get lost on Wikipedia because like there weren't all those groups dedicated to editing it, but it was actually interesting things to read.
Oh yeah.
You know what I do whenever I feel like that? I don't. No. I was just looking at Lost Minis Wiki, and literally there's an unlimited source of miniature companies with miniatures, and you can just stroll there and check out things you never knew there were miniatures of, and you'll come across some surprising things. Just saying.
So, do
What do
you
you
guys
call a
know?
rich Canadian a green card holder?
So, what
No.
do you call a Canadian actor?
Gone.
Some
Uh,
guy lost in Hollywood.
Oh, some guy lost in Hollywood. Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
sadly, our government fucks over our own internal uh, film production uh, system.
Yeah.
You were in
Something
the
to do with like,
hospital for 12 hours to see a doctor?
yeah, that can be kind of retarded sometimes. It depends on what hospital you go to.
Oh, especially if you're fucking bleeding.
Oh, yeah, no, if you're actively bleeding, that they'll put
Then
you in
it's
front of somebody
14
right away.
hours?
No, they'll put
They,
you in front of
they
somebody
recommend
right there.
suicide?
Oh, the trick is to like be visible and then stand up for something and just kind of stumble forward so you look like you're losing and you'll jump the queue right the fuck away.
So when you get there, it looks like everybody's having a seizure.
No, because most people like
Most people don't know that trick yet?
yeah, well, if you're in the emergency room, which is like the holding area for things that aren't actually that serious.
Well, if it's not serious, why go? And what do you call Vancouver in the native Chinese?
Uh, it's only the island. But yeah, that's sad. It's the same as California, bro. Vancouver is the same as California with the Chinese.
Well, yeah, but there's a reason here. There's no Californians in the waiting room.
Oh,
Yeah, the worst thing about Canada nowadays and their healthcare is like I can't tell a Canadian kill yourself without being like, "Oh, that's medical advice. You're not supposed to give that."
that's overplayed, but it's funny.
I mean, the mere thought that any country, would even, you know, seriously even consider it is just, you know,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Scandinavian influences because most
well,
of the
I mean,
Scandinavian
not
countries
to
have
get
that.
religious, but I mean, you know, there's a whole lot of religions that think that that's a first class ticket straight to the hot place.
Uh, Pretty much only Christianity.
Yeah, and that was implemented
Well,
after the mass suicides of multiple, basically, Christian cults.
I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
the Second Crusade was fought over that.
Yeah, it's not a recent thing, and it makes perfect sense because you're telling God, fuck you, I'm in charge, and I quit. Oh, you quit, do you? Well, guess what? Got a special place for you, pussy.
Well, you could like pray right beforehand, asking for forgiveness for what you're about to do, but you're just too weak, and
Yeah,
then God has to
you
let you
just
in.
don't. If you have the wherewithal to think to pray for forgiveness,
Yeah.
I mean, unless someone's putting a gun to your head, forcing you to do something, kind of thing. That I would understand,
Well,
but
the, I just want to say, off grid. I know it's a Swedish model you're saying, but ours is a hodgepodge of several different models. The problem is we're trying to force in the American model into a socialized healthcare system, which is like contradicting. You can't mix the oil and water. You also can't have like mass open borders with a socialized healthcare system because the people paying for it are the ones receiving it, and now you're putting people in it who haven't paid for it to receive it, which is the problem. Which is the problem with mass immigration in all sectors is
yeah,
that they didn't pay into the infrastructure, so they're now receiving the benefits of things, and a little bit of that is like bearable. But when you do what we've done in West in the last 2 decades, 4 decades since the '80s, really.
hey, off grid. Did they have brass during the Crusades? Because I'm going to go out amongst a pile of brass, maybe some heretics, but hopefully a whole lot of brass.
Brass is a very old metal. It's not like something you have to alloy. Nor is it like what do you call platinum, which you need modern methods to actually get.
Hmm.
And
Problem is, by
my
the time the Crusades went around, they had steel and brass. Depending on where you use it, is going to be heavily inferior.
I think he means color-wise. Oh, can I color the armor brass?
No, no, I'm talking about the brass that surrounds freedom seeds.
No, no,
Yes,
they
that's what.
they didn't have freedom seeds from
And I'm
whatever
not
you're
talking. Well, I'm not going back in time either. There's last time I checked, the Crusades were over. We might start a new one or a couple new ones, but that's because he's talking about dying. Amongst a pile of heretics. I'm going to die amongst a pile of brass. God, if I have to explain the joke, it's not funny anymore.
Well, it never was
Yeah, but your
funny.
joke didn't make any sense to begin with.
It most certainly did.
You're gonna
You,
die
you-
a bunch of pile of bullets because
Well,
you kept missing while putting the barrel up to the bottom of your chin.
with this second chin, there ain't no way I'm missing.
Trust me, there's a reason why I keep this beard this long. Not because I like it.
And okay, so back to the topic of suicide.
I don't think
So
we left that topic, bro.
okay, so
So you get a gold
about
star. Just saying.
about God forgiving you
You're welcome.
for it. That's usually called surviving during the circumstances or someone suddenly arriving after you've done it, and that's usually, from what I heard from testimony, that's usually happening to people who are like being under demonic oppression. So yes, they did make the choice, but there was a lot of steps before that wasn't in their control.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then they like, oh no, what's happening? Please help.
Mhm.
That's what I'm more like. See, that's the circumstance of which I partially think, partially what I heard, like from testimony, that it appears that God forgives suicide, and that also requires you to, survive. But there is some circumstance, like someone suddenly arrives, or something else, or like you
Mhm.
actually draw up all the pills and like.
Mhm. Um, I also firmly believe we need to go back to calling schizophrenia demon possession and just treat schizos like the modern pink-haired schizos like Raven or whatever as
Hey, now.
possessed.
my inner voice
She believes
disagrees
in
with you.
Bigfoot, man. Yeah, well,
Your
that's a
voice.
demon.
What
Telling
about
you
your
that.
second, third voice?
I'm switching devices here.
Well, if Justin is technically right, then I'm possessed by thousands because ever since a child, I've had a wall of noise in the
Those are
back of
called
my head.
thoughts. Those are called thoughts.
Well, if they are thoughts, they're just incoherent then because it's just a wall of noise.
No,
Um,
no. That's a burst eardrum.
Oh, that I do have tinnitus. Yes, I will admit that I do have tinnitus.
So what kind of tinnitus do you have? Do you have the or do you have the wop 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 wop?
I have the E one.
Okay.
Harpy.
I'm
You need to
baffled that you guys
exercise the
actually
harpies.
understand each other. Because now I'm hearing it. I'm hearing wah 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 wah.
No, that's me chewing the bacon.
And Justin, as a Canadian, how many sled dogs are you required to own?
Uh, 47.
Speaking of owning sled dogs, I still can't believe people actually voluntarily want huskies. Like those drama queens when they're like being exhausted every day by pulling a sled. Jeez. Like I know that's what they're made for, but when they're the way they're drama queens, but they don't get to do that. Jeez, why would you own a husky?
Oh, and crafting.
They look
Um,
pretty.
One of these days when you got nothing better to do, hold on a second, Raven. Might I suggest you get yourself a little bottle about this big, and
Yeah.
you go to your local Catholic church, and you scoop up some free holy water, and see if that helps.
I was baptized. I had this problem long before I was baptized, and I have been baptized twice
How old
actually.
were you when you were baptized?
Uh, when I was 8, and then technically it was a renewal baptizing. Like it was like 10 years later.
Oh, okay. Well, wouldn't hurt to try some.
Hey, I'm enough of a believer to say, hey, a little holy water somewhere around the house ain't a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm secretly stockpiling.
You just go to the church once a week and sprinkle a little on your face. Keep the demons away. It'll also be like taking a shower.
Well,
Uh,
it's funny. We've got this. It looks like a well inside the church. I mean, it's almost big enough for Connell.
Almost.
also, Raven, what's
It's
that?
it's
Are
not a
you like
jacuzzi,
loading a
but
rail gun at us? So what's that?
What?
What's the black thing there in the front of the camera? Like, are you like
what are you
loading a
doing?
rail gun?
Oh, I've got it propped up, and that's the corner of my laptop
Ah,
right there.
Yeah, you can
Well,
see
it looks
the
like you're
printer
being held
port.
at gunpoint.
Okay, I'll move it
No,
here.
no,
it's
no.
fine.
We're all a bunch of gun nuts. So awesome.
No,
Hey,
no, 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 no. We put the Gunsberg down because they are a detriment to the overthrowing the government.
Now I can't
it's
get it to
funny.
stay.
My cable guy came over, and we ended up having about a half-hour discussion. He's
You
from
gotta be careful
Guatemala.
with that. You gotta be careful with that. You can't be talking to the cable guy. We've all seen the movie.
No,
Next thing
he's a
you
decent
know,
guy.
he's gonna
He's
be
showing
following
me.
you around. He's gonna offer you like the free premium channels, and then
Well, he
you're gonna be
wasn't the
like,
cable guy. He was the internet guy.
same thing. He's gonna
Called
offer
a
you the
font
free.
heretic. Sorry, the word was escaping me. Uh, yes, Connell and a cigar. But every couple of weeks, I take a little home with me. Um, I'm sure they won't mind, and they know it's for a good cause. I have in-laws coming soon, and I want to spike their food.
Prove a point to your wife.
You know, just put it in a little misting bottle, and it's just like,
And then
wait,
send it
wait,
to
wait.
Raven so she can hit her cats up with it,
Oh no,
and then
no. Well, the
watch them burst
holy water is
and
not
watch
strong
them
enough for
burst into
that.
flames.
Holy water is not strong enough for that. But you just label it like spice extract, right? You
Yeah.
gotta try this. You gotta try this. It's super spicy, and it's like you just like throw like chili peppers in their portion of the food or whatever, right? When you cook it,
Mhm.
and you just spritz it on, and then when they ask you what that was, you just later, oh, it's holy water. So their food's burning already. You make it hotter than anything they've ever had. Go get like ghost peppers, ghost pepper extract. Go find a stuff called Dave's Infernal Hot Sauce
Oh dear God.
Oh God. Oh
and
I'm
God.
dab
pretty
it
sure they
all over
have it
their
out
food.
here, but I can't picture it being quite like you say. Not because I don't believe you, but I'm pretty sure that here in the states, they probably don't make it
No, no,
quite.
no, no. It's the same.
Uh,
Um,
Shadow. Dave's
Mine was
Infernal
also
Hot
aged.
Sauce. I think it is.
Yeah.
Either way, there is a hot sauce, and it is made specifically in America. That is so hot, you have to sign a legal waiver to be able to purchase it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
where can you purchase it?
Uh, yeah, the legal waiver is bullshit. It's just a gimmick. You just go look it up.
Well, my understanding is it's meant to keep the company from being able to be sued for literally killing you.
Yeah, no, it passed FDA safety ratings. That's good enough. If you're too stupid to actually read the bottle,
You would
the
be
warning sticker on the side of the
amazed.
bottle.
Yeah, this is well in California or anywhere in the United States with the lowest reading
Oh,
scores in human
yeah, you
history.
would try, but the big 12 Koval rating on the side of the bottle is you should know what you're doing.
Yeah, true. Flaming skull is kind of a universal sign.
Mm-hmm.
For heavy metal.
Yeah.
But no, get that stuff and just pour it into like the craft dinner or wherever the fuck you're serving. Mix it, and it's just like before they start eating, it's like wait, let me, and then just miss their food. And it's like you're gonna like that. It's gonna really knock up the heat for you. All right. And it's just when they ask you at the end, you just say it's holy water, and that will freak them out afterward because they'll think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could just hit some CS gas, you know, right on the food.
Yeah, speaking of pepper spray, one of my friends did a mistake recently. So like, he was going to try, pretty up his face with like putting stuff on his face. So he like to like get the blood flow to his face. He mixed like cane pepper with like olive oil. He forgot that like olive oil, that's not something you just wash off. You had to like use paper to get it away. So he washed it off in the shower and then got the cane pepper in his eyes.
Oh.
Pepper
Oh,
sprayed himself, and we're lucky that he didn't need to call 911 or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
911, what's your emergency? I pepper sprayed myself with olive oil.
with direct direct concentrate.
Yeah.
And the
Cane pepper.
receptionist said, "Well, as soon as we're done laughing, we'll send someone right out."
Yeah.
Hopefully, you're not blind.
Damn, Paul. Put cinnamon oil into the tampon wrapper and wait for the fireworks to begin.
That is going too far.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
That is a guy who either never wants to have sex again or has had a cheating girlfriend.
I still can't believe none of you got my self-help
Or
joke.
wants to become a eunuch.
Yeah.
So what is cinnamon oil, and what does it do? Like, I figure you want to
Burns
shove
like
it in
fire.
gas when it says like that. Oh,
It
okay,
burns.
Burns like fire.
gotcha.
Have you ever seen people try this cinnamon trick where they take a spoonful of cinnamon?
can't swallow it.
I knew someone who almost died from an asthma attack. Yes.
Well, it not only well, there's two ways it affects you. The cinnamon burns, especially at that, like putting that much in your mouth.
Concentrate.
But it also and then it'll do this as in the oil form too. It is a hydrophilic. It absorbs water. So imagine your pussy also being dried out instantly.
Ah.
Yeah, and
I
that's the
can't
last
imagine
thing
that.
you want.
I just can't imagine
Well, of course you can.
that. Oh, that was for Raven? Okay, I'm sorry.
Never asked me why I drink.
Yeah, don't do that, Raven. Don't do that. Even while you're on ayahuasca, don't do that.
Oh my god, that's funny. So you guys know that the Studio Gimli AI thing that's trending on
But I
Oh,
Twitter?
love
yeah, yeah,
cinnamon
yeah.
buns. Oh, you mean cinnamon burns?
Someone did it for the front cover, what do you call it, of Adventure Conquer King System 2. And the black guy got turned into an orc. Like a green skin orc even, but yeah.
And Omanal is trying to tell us AI doesn't understand. Oh. Keep telling him, man.
I know the basics of AI, and that's it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
teach AI
Well-
by images and books. Beyond
Well,
that, that's all
first
I know.
off, what I understand about AI is there's no such thing.
Yeah,
There's something
Not
they call it.
not in this, not in the literal, not in the either see the literal technical sense, but either way, not in the sci-fi sense for sure.
Yeah, so what we
Um,
got is just a program that's been very well written.
Yeah. I mean, and they are what game is it? Fallout 4. Not a great game. It's okay, but they actually take a look in one of the expansions what AI would truly need, which is one of the things that they have never been able to reproduce is the computing power of the human brain. To be able to do a true AI, you would need like, I don't know exactly the size of the building, but you need building-sized memory banks.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well,
Well,
they do have building size memory banks.
Yeah,
It's
but
that
you would need it
they
devoted
need
specifically
them.
to the AI, not general use like a
Well,
GIF.
they are devoted, but what I was trying to get through is you're conflating the like not you, but like Omenar, like conflating the meaning of the word learn, right?
Yeah.
Like because it's being programmed with that knowledge does not mean it's learning it the same way a human mind is.
No.
Yeah, and most of us here probably will never see that day happen.
Also, the reason they say like building-sized memory banks is because they only have magnet tapes in the Fallout universe.
Yeah. No, but they literally have like campus-sized buildings full of like server farms dedicated to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like entire server farms with the cutting edge. Like NVIDIA designed special GPUs for them that are like 3 feet long. Yeah, one of the channels I watch that actually goes through the news. 'Cause I took the training course that's out there for you to do to make a large language model yourself at home. So I've made one. It was
Following in
junky
Shauna's
and
footsteps again,
buggy,
I see.
and I threw it out immediately because I didn't care. But I actually did it, so like because I wanted the knowledge for myself, not some douche weasels on YouTube's opinion.
Yeah.
What?
You don't know what a douche weasel is, Raven?
No. What the
You should
hell is that?
go Google the definition of a douche weasel right now.
I thought it was douche nozzle.
This is the same thing.
Okay.
Weasel.
Birds
It does
of a
sound funnier.
Yeah.
So
See-
it's basically the female equivalent to Richard Gere.
Douche weasel.
No.
A tiny-headed weasel looking.
Oh, there's an actual douche weasel.
There really is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
hold
No,
on.
no, 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 no.
A
You want the Urban
tiny-headed
Dictionary?
weasel-looking alcoholic.
You want the Urban Dictionary version of it, not the.
A tiny weasel-headed looking alcoholic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. What is?
I guess my
okay,
dad's a douche weasel.
Okay. It's a. It's also a common slang word for jerk. The
Yeah.
variation douchebag is extremely popular. There's no clear way to define what a douche is, though anyone acting arrogant, jerky, or nasty might be described as one. That's what it says.
See, I always attributed douche to the word deuce. So basically
Yeah,
calling
because
him a
that stupid
shitbag.
song. What's that Blinded by the Light?
Yeah.
That's not.
Revved up like a douche in the middle of the night. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Those aren't the lyrics.
Well, what does it say then? I've listened to that
Wrapped
little
up like
bit
a
of that song
deuce.
over and
Wrapped
over and
up
over.
like a
Yeah,
deuce,
yeah,
not
yeah,
deuce.
yeah, yeah. That's why. That's what the thing was. He says deuce in the original version.
Okay,
by
what is
Bruce
deuce
Springsteen.
supposed to mean then? Because I've always known deuce as shit.
I think it's
Well, A
either
revolver.
a what?
A revolver.
I thought it was a car engine, but wow, yeah,
The Saturday Night Special or something like that.
maybe.
A smaller version.
Shauner was misunderstood. He was the abrasive grandfather type who tells you what you need to know before you need to know it. In
No,
my
no, no,
opinion.
no, 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 no. He was that 15, 20 years ago, off grid. When I knew him, he was more like the grandpa from The Simpsons, who would start telling you a story, get distracted, and fall asleep. But instead of falling asleep, he'd be playing Skyrim. Sorry,
God.
Or labeling people
Rainbow
he doesn't
Pony
know as a
Express.
waste of space.
Yeah. Yeah, shut up.
Honestly,
I
Yes,
resemble that
that means
remark.
two.
Well, what did you find, Raven?
I found what is a douche in a sausage party?
Oh no.
Shadow. Shadow is the douche in a sausage party.
It's amazing what you can Google these days, isn't it? You know, they always have the questions of stuff like after you put in a search, and then they'll have like a whole like 8 or 9 different little things of questions. You know, this is what I'm like. What? Okay, so it's an evil, ruthless, and megalomaniac feminine hygiene product who is known for bullying and for killing foods, making him both a metaphorical and literal douche.
I always thought that douche was French for douche.
Feminine hygiene product. That's the part of that gets me.
No, the douche. A douche is an actual we use it as a insult now, but it was originally an actual product that women would put in, and it would be filled with salt water,
And
and
vinegar.
it'd flush out, and
But they still make them. It's still a thing.
don't use them. They're very dangerous.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how.
Yeah,
I don't think I
use
have
them. They're
the
very
plumbing.
dangerous. Well, that was my self-help joke the other day. None of you fucking got. I want to tell it again so bad because I want to see. Were you there, Raven? Were you there?
I
the
think
other
so.
day? When we were talking about reading self-help books, and I said I read a self-help pamphlet one time in the bathroom, but I just didn't think that the instruction manual to the tampons was gonna be any use to me.
Well, your name's not Tim Walls, so
It's technically self-help, right?
I guess.
Oh God. Okay, so
The
do you
tampon
know what?
instructions would be any use to me.
Right, off grid.
It was
Um,
the only thing to read in the bathroom.
Speaking of bad, so do you know
Okay,
what
what
the
were you doing in
vulgar
the
word
ladies'
for
room, first of all?
No, it was my bathroom.
Oh,
the vulgar word for a toilet? Do you know what that is?
Canadian.
A vulgar term for the toilet.
Yeah.
crapper.
Yep, you got it.
A crapper. No, that's
That's
well,
what. Yeah, that's exactly what
Miley
it is.
Cyrus.
First appearing in 1932, crapper became a popular alternative word for toilet thanks to the Thomas Crapper and Company Limited Company that manufactured toilets.
Yep. It was named after the family, and now they probably have changed their name since then.
Yeah, I would. So,
Shadow, do you and your wife not use the same bathroom?
No, we don't. The place is big enough where I have my own bathroom. She has her own bathroom,
Fucking mansion owners, man.
and Jackie has his own bathroom now.
Fucking mansion owners.
And we wonder why Shadow hasn't left California yet.
Dude, are you kidding? As soon as I do, I will own a mansion because the prices here are fucking skyrocketing.
Nah, you'll spend it all on fucking Kickstarters for stupid miniatures you'll never get.
Not all of it. I have to have a place to put them.
Okay, so now I'm matching like Shadow is not gonna like rent what you call like one of those garages you like rent to have your stuff, and he's just gonna buy the whole place and then like build on top like a house or something like that, and
I
run a
am looking for a shop that has like an apartment.
I told him get a strip mall. Right, a strip mall. You know what a strip mall is.
And then build like you know how they have the alleys in the back. I'm just gonna make I'm gonna wall that off so I can just like have secret doors into every shop.
You need the alley because that's where the garbage truck comes to pick up the trash.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna make like a 5-foot addition to the entire back wall so I can just secretly enter any building I want at any time.
You can do that anyway. They have those.
well, what would be the point? What are you trying to do? Just
He just needs to do like a little shack on top of.
Just so I can be sneaky and eccentric.
Yeah, and get sued for theft whenever something gets stolen.
Who said I would steal anything?
No, you'll
I would
just
just
get
put
accused
things.
of it.
I would just move things around. They come in and all the soda cans are upside down and stupid shit like that.
Make me
You
think we had a poltergeist.
You are aware if you are in the position of management and you don't tell them you have secret doors, you could get your ass in trouble.
Really?
I got to get caught, and I figure if I only rent to Mexicans, they won't say shit.
Well, the reason for that, at least here,
Be smart. Open up all the businesses yourself.
then you don't have to tell anyone shit.
They're all your businesses, and you just have them running on their own through like semi-competent Mexican people or whatever, because you're like a Republican and you need your foreign labor because you can't just go to the local high school and hire some fucking kids. You need.
Have you seen what comes out of the high schools these days?
Yeah. No. This is why you can't go to the high school and get your labor. You have to go to the fucking foreign. You're gonna hire Indians. You're gonna get nothing but Indians because your country's not bringing in Mexicans anymore. You're bringing in Indians now. That's what Trump said. Because JD Vance, his wife, is from there.
Uh-huh.
So you're gonna get some, and you're gonna like have to like replace the bathroom with a trough or something because it's the only place they know how to, just go in and have like an auto wash system over a concrete slab that looks like a street for them to poop on instead of toilets. Otherwise, you'll be cleaning up shit from everywhere. And then, you'll be able to take like a percentage of each place instead of like just the rent, right? Because you'd be renting to yourself, so it's fine. Instead, it's more revenue and less taxes. Think ahead.
Maybe.
Shadow's Nail Emporium, Shadow's Burger Hut, Shadow's Laundry and Fold, Shadow's
Sausage Hut.
XXX video rental.
But what would the
You
Victoria's
can't.
Secret be called?
There's no use in XXX video rental. We got the internet now, Raven. It's not
Yeah.
1982. He's
Now,
not
if you would
building a
have said
time machine. He's
massage,
buying a strip
if you would
mall.
have said massage parlor, that'd have been different.
That's above the nail salon. That's why you need a two-story strip mall.
Yeah.
But at least I'd have the decency to fucking name it for what it is. Shadow's Rub and Tug.
It's a innocuous door with number on it. You gotta
Yeah.
get it right.
Yeah, it's the number 3 special.
I ever show you?
And remember, nobody wants a Japanese robot.
Yeah,
I
you
ever show
tell that
you
to the Japanese.
Did I ever show you the one near me on Google?
No.
The one what?
I'm gonna look it up. Okay, it's Street View.
That's awful. Off grid.
What do you say?
For the cheats that like to shit on our beaches, the classrooms are equipped. I'm assuming he means equipped with litter boxes to accommodate them.
That's not true. That's
What's a jeet?
That's
Jeet.
short for Pajit, and that's a slang word for someone from India.
Oh, okay. Never heard that.
Okay.
one before.
Okay. I'm showing you this picture right here.
And who just joined us? Oh, that was you.
No, that's me. I just said it's a Street View. Okay, so you see this white door right here?
Yeah.
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 That's where you get the rub and tug from what I hear. Okay, so you see this green cycle mobile?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back in time a
Before
bit.
we go, how is the fried chicken place?
This is what's right across the
I
street
have
from
no
where you
idea.
live.
No, this is up the street. I'm trying to go back far enough. Oh, maybe it's too far. Too far. I'm trying to look for when the store next door, before it was the motorcycle place. It's not showing it. For a while there, it was the NDP regional uh, campaign office. The NDP being the third largest political
So,
party in
have you
Canada.
actually seen any of these suicide pods parked along the curbside?
They don't exist.
Well, they showed one
They
on
do in
TV.
Carcosa.
They do in Carcosa. They don't actually exist. That is just some guy's truck they showed you a picture of. Maybe it was photoshopped.
No, it was live, and the person was. It was on. I think it was on Viceland, Vice. TV? They were going. I don't know if they were which province they were in, but they were in Canada, and they showed one right there along the
Yeah,
sidewalk,
they fake stuff on Vice too.
and they opened the lid and
Nice
showed
to
panned
reach
the
us.
camera inside to show you what it looked like inside.
Yeah, don't forget that magazine was started by Gavin McGinnis. That's
Well, I
all you
don't know
need
who
to know
that
about
is.
it.
Oh,
All I know is like those suicide
He put a
pods, like from
dildo on his
Switzerland,
ass.
they turned out not to work, and they actually had to. People thought it was a joke because people actually joked about it, but not only were they defect, someone actually got strangled to make sure they could say, "Oh, it worked."
oh wow! I thought it was a gas. They killed him by gas, poisonous gas that killed the thing, like carbon
Uh,
monoxide type thing, whatever.
Why would
Do
they
you know?
bother? Why
Do you
even
know
do
how
that? Why
hard
not
it
just?
is to gas a person? Trust
Well,
me,
No,
I know a lot
all
about
they have,
gassing
it's so
people.
much easier to just take away the air.
Yeah,
yeah, you
but
can
you
take
need
it.
an
yeah.
Yeah,
airtight
that's true.
environment.
True, we
Um,
could do that.
Yeah, and you put them
Um,
in a cylinder, like a laying down cylinder, kind of like the one Justin's character's in on Saturday nights.
Yeah, it's
And,
Raven off grid. Don't worry about it.
you put them in an airtight
what?
cylinder. You put them in a cylinder that becomes airtight, and you just wait like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
but
it's
Shadow is not about
province, not
Holocaust denial.
providence.
Well, what do you call it then? Well, there's Quebec and there's
Sorry.
Province.
Providence,
Pro,
huh?
pro, pro, province, not providence.
Oh,
Providence is a state of being.
oh, oh.
Or
Okay,
Rhode Island.
province. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No. They're actually referring to the state of being in Rhode Island. Yeah, it's the place in Rhode Island is based on that emotional state. Yeah, it's an emotional state, right?
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
saying
Don't
correctly.
worry about it, Raven. You're on the ayahuasca or whatever.
No, I'm not.
That's a lie.
Told
Don't
you, I
lie.
have not done that yet.
Yeah.
That you'll admit to.
I might. If I do, I'll tell you. I'll tell you about it.
Don't
Are
do
you
drugs,
really gonna? Are
Raven.
you really gonna give us that kind of ammunition, Raven?
Why not? I don't
Well,
care.
we'll just shake our fingers at you and say "bad girl" and
Yeah,
hit you
but
with the
you,
roll of
so
newspaper.
what? I'm used to that. Uh,
All right.
I
Yeah,
have
those
no desire to go to
are.
the jungle. I can't stand bugs, and I doubt I would ever do that.
Ah, so Welcome to the Jungle is not your favorite song.
No, 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 no. Guns N' Roses suck.
Okay.
Provinces is the plural, and provincial is the governance, something like that. You can get your thesaurus out. I don't really give a shit.
Oh, that's
What are
weird.
you
I
holding up?
with that.
It's all small and sideways and stuff. Yeah,
That's what I accomplished tonight, folks.
yeah.
What is that thing?
It's just a. It's supposed to be a.
It's your new overlord, Raven.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a robot that you get inside, but because the scale is so small, it's just going to be an Ed
Yeah.
209 or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I could see if the guy's head is in that bubble, I could see it being 25 in a cramped seated position.
Did you use those silver markers?
No, it's
No,
not
it's
painted.
metal. It's metal. It's not painted yet. It just took me
Oh,
this long since the very beginning of the show at 5 o'clock, 3 hours and 15 freaking minutes to freaking canvas hole the freaking the holes for the arm and the body to get them because I accidentally clipped off the pegs that they were supposed to be glued on because they were so lopsided and odd looking that I didn't think they were the actual connection points for the machine guns.
Yeah,
Oh,
I hate that
That
when they're not
explain why Justin
clearly
haven't done handshake yet. By the way, jazz
hand
hands.
check.
so
I
you
did not.
assembled it. You had to
I did.
assemble.
Yes.
I just want to say I did not see Crafting's hands, so he is
I
whacking
didn't see
them right
crafting at all, so he must be really into it.
now. Yeah,
He didn't want us to see that face
yeah.
he's making, as he's.
Ugh. I'm playing with a Darth Vader. With his
Is that what
lightning
you call
pistol.
it? Is that what you call it now? I've never heard that.
I call it my lightning pistol too.
Ah.
Is that a light bulb or just your bald head?
It's a light bulb.
Just because he hangs out with Bruce doesn't mean he's taken to mimicking him that much.
Nope.
How is Bruce these days? I haven't seen him in a couple weeks.
He's doing pretty good.
We'll tell him I say, hey, we still need to get the band back together.
He's been talking to Kai about that.
And
Kai.
he and Connell owe me a freaking Three Musketeers beard and mustache pretty damn soon. I don't know how we're going to do that or what we're going to do, but we got to do that.
Oh, I made sure to pass on to Kai the fact that the God Wars game, and
Oh,
he
thank
actually
you.
wishes he could join. He'll certainly try, but as it sits right now, he will not have time.
Well, it's like 30 minutes a week. I mean, if he ain't got 30 minutes a week, maybe, I don't know. But I did send him the link to the video. Yeah, I had to pin it. It was I just didn't want to take a chance off grid. It's a nice little model. I'm going to see if I can find a couple more. That way I can have field a couple of them instead of just like he's the big bad for that particular adventure or whatever. The arms are
I
pretty.
know how to defeat him though.
Yeah, you just hit him with a hose.
No, stairs.
Stairs, yeah, stairs would do it. He tries hitting the stair. He can climb up the stairs, but coming down the stairs, forget about it.
Ed 209 could not climb up the stairs.
Oh yeah, maybe because his feet are too big. Yeah, I can see that now that I look at it. They'd have to be some pretty wide, stairs like this way, because your foot you'd like get one toe and then fall over. Because he's got these weird heels for his feet. It's like this makes no sense, but it looks cool from a distance.
That's all that matters.
Off grid, I don't think anybody is technically completely done for the God Wars, and I don't recommend anybody getting too ahead of themselves because there are going to be minor little changes here and there. Most of the stuff that I've done, I'm pretty happy with, but I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm going to open up. I'm going to put a new link and change it so you guys can comment. So as you're reading it, if you have any ideas and stuff, because we're getting close, and I couldn't work on it for 2 days, but I did get some work done. But I have to input all that stuff that I wrote down on paper, which is what I'll be doing shortly because I'm going to end the show in 12 minutes so I can get to work on that because it was like while I was working on the map, I was getting all kinds of ideas and I want to make sure I don't forget those ideas or forget how. I was even watching a video last night on one of the games that not last night because it was a couple nights ago on one of the old chit games, one of the old tiny little board games that's very similar to some aspects of the way this might play if it was in person. And it put me freaking to sleep like a sleeping pill. It was awesome. I'll send it to you, Justin, because it will knock you right the fuck out.
Now,
I don't know what made this guy think he had, the chops to make videos other than just the desire, but get
You
somebody.
wonder why I don't make videos, Shadow.
Pardon?
And you wonder why I don't make videos.
Oh no. I honestly, I'm serious. I think you and Armstrong should do a show together. I don't know what, but I think it would be fucking awesome.
Who's
if you want to do it, at 3 to 5 Eastern Standard Time on a Wednesday, I would really love that.
Justin's really trying to get out of the Wednesday show.
Who's Armstrong though?
Armstrong.
Mad Eye Miniatures.
Oh, Mad Eye. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the name of his channel. I call him Armstrong because that's what he prefers to be called. Um, he's just a big sweet teddy bear with a weird ass sense of humor.
His name
I
is
know.
something Polish.
I know, every time I hear Mad Eye, I want to call him Mad Eye Moody.
Honestly, I don't
I
think
think
I
that's
could
where he
make a
goes
show with
channel
Mad
name
Eye
from.
because his verbal tick of yeah, it really drives me up the wall, and I know that's not nice, and that's a me issue.
You get over it.
I really can't think of anything about the guy I don't like, other than some of the things that have happened to him. But that's not him, and the way he's, you know, made it
He's a
through them.
liberal.
Pardon?
Like the rest of you motherfuckers, he's a liberal.
I don't know, and I don't care.
No, you're a liberal. You're a liberal. You're a liberal.
What's a liberal?
You're a liberal. And Raven's just an ayahuasca user.
So you just
What's a liberal?
A liberal?
Yeah,
Hey, you
what's
definitely-
You know the political ideology of liberalism?
oh, he's got a new video up. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. It's something episode 10 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like, it gives you
Well, that means it's probably not. Oh, it's probably his wooden spaceships.
Mm.
I don't think so.
Oh, because it doesn't sound like it would be one of his car videos. So
I think it is. But
Really?
he's been doing a series on something.
oh,
I just can't
thought he
remember what it
doing,
was.
Clothespin spaceships.
Yeah, he was doing that too. Different series.
Okay, good for him.
I mean, he's got like eight things he's working on at any given time.
yeah.
Scroll down. There it is. Wasteland Wednesdays, episode 10.
Oh, okay.
Hammer time.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, it looks like he's building a wasteland buggy. I don't know. I see some resin thing with some green bar and
Yeah.
one of those
He-
square panel plates that he uses.
Yeah, you know, it's really amazing how I met him. I was just literally just looking for, you know, I heard about Gaslands. I thought it would be something, you know, the boy might like because he had, you know, had a crap ton of Hot Wheels. Still has a crap ton of Hot Wheels. You know, he was little. You know, I figured, okay, this sounds like something, you know, he could get into. And I just happened across his channel, and you know, whenever
Gaslands, that's the new one, right? Not Car Wars. Gaslands is the new
yeah,
one.
yeah. By fuck, I don't remember who does the game, but you know, I just saw guys doing Gaslands. I'm like, okay, I'll check this out and see, you know, if I can learn anything about the game, if my boy would like it. And I saw him, and you know, said hey, and we've been friends ever since. And that was like long fucking time ago.
Yeah, the guy that makes that wrote that game, he has a YouTube channel called Planet Smasher Games.
Mike Hutchinson.
Is it Mike Hutchinson?
Yeah, and it's for Osprey Games.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike Hutchinson.
And I definitely will make a small table, or at least a regular event of Gaslands at the shop. There's how hard would it be, you know, on a Saturday to get a crap ton of people around a table like that?
Yeah. How many players can you have at a single time?
I've seen games with like 8.
Okay, well, eight people.
You know, get somebody who really digs the game to be the referee, and literally have little tournaments. You know, you pay
Well,
$2, $5, whatever, to be in the game,
and the winner gets a prize of like a Hot Wheel and like 6 or 7 random bits from a bits box or whatever that you can just make up. You know?
I would probably try to actually make like a league thing to get people to not only to play but to come back.
No, but if you had like 8 people put in, you take like the worth of 2 entry fees
Mhm.
in random crap and just
Well, I'm
go.
also gonna have to pay the guy to referee the game,
Yeah,
and then I'll keep the rest.
yeah. So referee the game. Okay, so it's 8 people at say $5 a head. You get $10 for the grad bag, right? And it's just random crap you 3D print or whatever. So it's like 50 cents worth of materials on a fucking Hot Wheels car. Yeah, you know. And then you take another 4 people's worth of entries is $20. Give the guy $20, right?
Well, it depends on how long it takes, really, right?
Yeah, I just offer him $20.
Yeah, me too. That must have been fun off grid, because you know, especially if you know, you get like father and son teams in there, you know. Uh,
Yeah, and
so
like it's not like they're gonna not buy other stuff while they're there,
right,
especially
you
if
know, but
you're smart and you got the vending machine for the Coke and the
I don't want kids doing coke.
yeah you got the ayahuasca vending machine. It's
A family affair.
you should really open this up in California. That way you could have the ayahuasca vending machine.
No.
But
Yeah, and three. I definitely would have Brian print the trophies. I already thought about that, and you know, have it a regular Saturday thing because that way you get a bunch of people in on a Saturday doing something completely different than you know the regular games that would be popular, and you know, show people how easy it is. You know, you buy some Hot Wheels, you buy the book or the PDF, and you freaking zoom your little Hot Wheels around the table and try to kill each other.
well, you could probably go to China, go to like Al,
AliExpress or something.
Ali Alibaba because you want the like the outlet, not the retail. And get like a box full of the knockoff Hot Wheels and put them into a fucking vending machine.
Dude, that's a great idea.
Are we
Yeah,
still
I'm just gonna have you have like the one store that's just like a wall of vending machines.
Yeah.
are we still talking about his strip mall or?
We kind of, Off Grid said, make the trophies busts of famous dystopian characters. Lord Humongous for first place. The dude from Death Race is second place. And Morton Joe bust as third place. I don't know. I wouldn't mind maybe have the Mad
Master
Max
Blaster.
or Master Blaster or Mad Max. You know, that walking away pose where he's holding the sawed-off shotgun down low.
Well, it's a bust, right? So
Well, maybe you know 3D like miniatures on top of the trophy or something.
it's a wedding cake.
Right. But I'm gonna say goodnight, folks. I'm gonna get back to work on the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see some of you guys tomorrow over on this guy's show.
And Shadow, I can confirm I'm not making the Succubus Empire. Don't worry.
You can. Well, you. I'm not saying you
Well, you
can't,
can't
but
now.
you could definitely summon them. That's a thing you can do.
I'm absolutely playing a chaotic evil overlord. Just remember that.
So the guy who never leaves his space is actually Justin.
I mean, have you ever seen him in another location? He's always in black and white.
I'm always in Noir land, except for the few times I want to show you the color of my T-shirt. Hands.
Gas hands.
You can't see. Oh, that's because
So
I
you
changed
guys,
cameras.
if I don't see you this week, tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Get some gaming in. Maybe paint some minis, or better yet, go out and touch some grass.
Yeah.
I do want the RoboCop statue. I'll have to come down there just to win RoboCop. I don't care what the contents of that is.
And
RoboCop
off
on that
grid,
statue.
I'll talk to you before Saturday, but before Sunday. But I am looking forward to Sunday's game too.
Sunday. I'll be invisible. Invisible.
All right, guys. Have a
Have
great
a good
weekend.
one.
Party
See you,
on.
everybody.
Happy trails.
And remember, whatever you do,